Welcome, everybody, on this Wednesday evening. We've got another report around the place that just keeps on giving. Eglin Air Force Base. We're going to get this guy, Mr. Gary, on here pretty soon and talk all about it.
Something big is spooking residents. Multiple people have claimed to see a large furry animal trudging through the woods.
I literally could see him from all the way over here. I started hearing it. It was very large, and it was running so fast.
Of sorts for campers in Taos County. The Sheriff's Office is sharing safety tips on social media to protect yourself from
Bigfoot.
I saw something out of the corner of my eye off the side of the road in the culvert.
It's not like a bear, and it wasn't like a coyote. I've never seen anything like that.
No details, just big, like 10-foot foam, big figure. It freaked out, hit in the leg.
I don't think it registered what it was.
What's the likelihood that there are big animals that have gone undetected by scientists and by trained observers?
Howdy, everybody, and welcome to the show. I am your host, Stacy Brown Jr., in case you don't know. We have had a ton of new subscribers to the channel, and I want to thank everybody for being here. This evening's show, we got a guy named Gary, and he's coming from, it's not Niceville, but it's a place that's right next to it. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. I just drew a blank. But Milton, that's it. He's from Milton, and he had a couple of terrifying encounters that we're going to get into. And I think he's like the 8th or 9th report that I've gotten from Milton, that whole area there, since I did the Tyler Howell interview, which is really cool because every now and then I'll get like an extra, I'll get a new report, right? It's like, it was in that area. I heard that report. So I hit you up. But this one, man, just keeps on and keeps on busting reports. And the Eglin Air Force Base is one of the top UFO hotspots in the country. The Pentagon said so. Other people have just talked about the amount of UAP sightings that are around that base. So are we shocked that there just continues to be hairy hominid encounters coming from that same place? I don't know. I only connect the dots when there's something to connect. And that makes it something to connect, What are they doing over there? What are they laying on? What's going on Eglin Air Force Base? But we're going to get into some of it tonight. Couple of things. This Friday night, I have my fireside chat that I'm going to release. And this is mainly just to introduce myself to our new subscribers so they can kind of hear some of my stories that I had. It's about 45 minutes of me telling Les Stroud and everybody on the Canada trip, just talking about my encounters. I was secretly freezing my ass off. And I don't know, maybe you won't be able to pick up on it, but I could tell. I would repeat some words. I would use some words again. And unless they're F-bombs, I usually don't use words again, right? However, it was cold, and I told my story, so I'm going to get that out there. And then Sunday, the first video that I've done for Cabin in the Woods will be out. It is on my dad's thermal footage, and I edited it. I cut that video together, okay? I made that one. So I've seen it, but that thing hums, brother. It's smooth. That's a great episode, just the way it's cut. I'm really super proud of it. So glad for y'all to get to see some of my work over there on his channel as well. And then not this Saturday, but next Saturday will be the premiere of my horror film, Tate, based on the legend of Tate's Hell. I don't know if any of y'all seen the trailer I released the other day on Monday. I will play it tonight during the show so I can have a quick minute and 24-second bathroom break, and if it's needed. Otherwise, I'll just play it at the end of the show. But we're going to premiere the short film, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Get it all out to y'all because we are making it into a feature film. I got off of the phone today with one of the guys that's going to play our lead actors, and that guy's worked for Quentin Tarantino. So it's funny. This guy's going to go working alongside Matt McConaughey and getting directed by Quentin Tarantino to getting directed by me. What a world we live in, right, people? What a world. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and Kev2917 is asking, how long did it take to make the horror movie? So it took about, I think we spent 7 days shooting it. You know, we shot that pretty quick. We were pretty methodical and had our plan laid out, so there was really no confusion when we got to the set. It was just, we got to do this. We know this has got to go this way. So it actually went pretty good. In that movie, there's a boat scene where the preacher is pushing Seb through the swamp. That was the longest and hardest shot because the preacher couldn't swim. And he damn sure couldn't paddle that boat across with that pole that we gave him. So we had 100-pound test line on the front and on the back. And me and Joey were pulling him along like that. So that shot was in the middle of the woods at a sinkhole. It looks like he's going to be on some big creek. It's literally a little sinkhole. Movie magic there, people. But that shot took till like 2 a.m. And then it's only like 30 seconds in the film, if that. So anyways, enough yapping on my part. Let's go ahead and bring on Gary. We're here to hear about Bigfoot. So Gary, welcome to the show.
How are you? Can you see me okay, sir?
Yeah, man. Looking good, brother.
All right. Thank you.
So, you sent me a video. It was you telling your story, and I called you. And like when you sent it, I just so happened to be cooking dinner, and I was like, "Hey, I can put this on the Bluetooth and just listen to it while I cook," because I usually listen to music. And I went ahead and listened to it, and I was like, "Oh wow!" So I gave you a call immediately. You just like timed it right, because usually I'll see this stuff, but it's like 3 a.m. and I can't go calling people at 3 a.m. Some of you people have gotten emails from me. If you look at the time, they're coming in at like 1:45, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I can't call people at that time. But you just timed it just right. I had the 45 minutes to listen to the video, and then I was able to call you. So, anyways, enough of my rambling. Well, you want to tell the people what happened, your first encounter?
All right. I just want to clarify a couple things so nothing gets misconstrued. I did not have an actual physical or visual sighting of a creature, but I heard a lot of really crazy stuff over different trips. So I kind of want to clarify that, if that's okay. My first incident was October 20th, 2024. I think previously I stated in some of my own videos on my YouTube channel, October 22nd, but I started looking at timestamps today, and it was actually October 20th. I believe that was a Sunday, and which would make more sense due to my work schedule at that time. So I'm at Mystic Springs Recreation Area in Escambia County, Florida, and I had camped there before, but not at site number 7. So it it kind of like backs up to like a lagoon. It's a little bit more isolated. It's on a little bit of a ridge. There's a pavilion, a cooking station, or whatnot. So earlier in the day, I did a podcast with an outdoorsman, and it went excellent. But we hung around for a while, talked for a couple hours, and when he finally left, I was trying to cook, but I couldn't. I didn't have any more visibility on the cooking rate, and I just got frustrated. So I said, "Hell with it! I'll just eat tomorrow." And there was a fire ring, so I got the fire going, and I'm 99.9% of the time I camp by myself, so I'm just sitting in the camping chair, just cracked a cold one, and then I started hearing real loud, heavy crunching in the woods. That would be, the sound started closest to the pavilion into the wooded area. Real loud noise, like crunching, heavy-footed crunching. And my first instinct was, all right, it's just some drunk rednecks hunting or something, you know? And then it was so weird how my senses dialed in real quick. I just realized, all right, that may not be what it is. So I had a big 8-inch survival knife on my left hip. So I pulled it out, and I hear it getting closer and closer and closer. But at this point, I'm standing in front of the fire pit. So I don't have any illumination towards the woods. I didn't have a flashlight on me. So I'm just listening, and I hear it getting closer and closer. So I pull out the knife, and I'm trying to sound alpha, but I was scared to death. I'm not going to lie to you. So I just start cursing, F-bombing. You get any closer, you know, you're going to get effed up. And I just tried to sound dominant, even though I was like, all right, man, this is not going to end well for me, probably. But so I stood there for a while, just listening. I was wondering if I was going to hear a voice reply like, I'm sorry, or, you know, I knew that likelihood was not going to happen. And after a while, I said, all right, I'm going to retreat back to the van. So that's what I did. But that went on, I would say, the steps, I didn't tell you this part, probably 8 to 10 seconds, but it was getting a lot closer. I could not see anything. I did not smell anything. I have bad sinuses. When you had your guest on, Tyler, saying that he didn't smell anything, I was like, yes, because I'm not the only one. I was like, all right. Not just, and like I said in the video I shared with you, I don't remember which way the wind was blowing. So it could have been behind me blowing the other direction. And maybe that's why I didn't smell anything. But I was really freaked out. So that night, I was in the van, and I was just kept looking around for hours, you know, expecting some type of attack or something to happen. And then it started raining. It rained all night. I had all my gear still outside. So when I woke up in the morning, I just packed. It was still raining. I packed everything up and got the hell out of Dodge. So that was the first night. I didn't have time to go look for footprints or anything. I was just happy I made it through the night, and that was the first incident. I know it probably sounds docile to people. I mean, I shared the videos with you, and you can kind of get an idea of what the layout looks like. When it's dark out there. There is not a whole lot of light until I had my second incident, which was April 18th.
Now, just to kind of preface for people, you camp a lot. You didn't just go out there and it was your first night camping and you got spooked and left. So I think that's simple, or I think it's important that you talk about that for a minute, because there was a thing you were trying to do as well. So
yeah, I mean, I camp often. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I love spending time in the woods at campgrounds and stuff like that. And I've been to that Mystic Springs recreation area. There was only 8 campsites there. with the exception of number 9, which is a group campsite or like if you have a family reunion or something, but that's closed off. So you have to reserve that for a group event. So I have stayed at 1, 2, 3, 7, and 8. And the only place I ever had problem was campsite number 7.
Right. Okay. Well, so how long have you lived in that area? Have you been there a while, or is this a new area to you?
I've been in Florida for 20 years, but the Milton area for about 4.
Okay. Were you prior military or anything?
No, sir. When I was younger, I dispatched for the Delaware State Police. I did that for 8 years. I couldn't become a trooper due to my color vision problem. But
Oh, really? They won't let you be a trooper if you're colorblind?
it's very few people in the world are actually colorblind. It's a different degrees of color deficiency. I have the most common one, which is a red-green deficiency. 7% of males from European descent have that. So
I got it too. And so like also it comes down to colors with red or green in them. So like dark blue, dark ass blue, and purple. Fucking good luck on me trying to tell you which one's which, you know, and with green, like bright green and yellow. So the reason my parents knew I had an issue with seeing is because I would ask for the crayons with the names on them because I would get in trouble with those color by number things. And then the teacher asked them about it, and she showed them all my pictures, and like the grass is yellow. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, that's how I'll see it sometimes. If there's a green, supposed to be a green in the color, it's like a mix almost. I won't see the green, you know? So, but yeah, that's.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good, man.
I was going to say, I pissed off the Delaware State Police so bad. I worked for them. I loved them. I still love them to this day. But I kept reapplying like 12 times, 10 to 12 times. And I even went to Wills Eye Hospital in Philadelphia. I took a bunch of tests up there. There's a test called the Farnsworth test. And basically it looks like those things you have on backgammon, the little pieces, and they're all different shades. And you have to go from darkest to lightest back to darkest. And yeah, I failed on the very first, the first disc or whatever you want to call it. And I kept saying, oh, I must have misunderstood. Let me try this again. And it cost me a lot of money just to keep getting rejected.
Yeah, that sucks. But yeah, I tell you what, man, up until recently, they just a couple years back changed the red lights to like LED lights. And so now I can really tell them apart. But the older ones.
Can I hit mute for 1 second?
Yeah, bro.
Thanks.
But the older lights, dude, I'll straight blow through traffic, man. It's like, I have to look around because I've ran a lot of red lights in my day on accident. But still, nonetheless, it's kind of terrifying. So it looks like we got a lot of birthdays in the chat. Happy birthday to, what'd you say, your son, Zuli? Yeah, it's my son's birthday today. Okay, yeah, tell him that Stacy wishes him a happy birthday. And then I think, where was the other one? I think Christina said her birthday was tomorrow. Mine is tomorrow, Zuli. Happy birthday to you, Christina. May y'all have the best of birthdays as we celebrate another day out of the birth canal. All right. So, okay, back to your Bigfoot thing. So what happened after you had your first Bigfoot encounter? Was it like, were you trying to talk yourself out of it? Like, you know, in like the day afterwards, are you like, nah, that had to be a bear or that had to be some rednecks? You know what I mean? Did you go through anything like that?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't remember the exact, like, and I know, like, I've always kind of believed in Bigfoot, but I never had a personal reason to believe, I never had like what I would call like a possible encounter. And I told people, I forget how I did this, but basically I said, some weird stuff happened out there. And that's not the word I use, but I was like, then like after a couple of days, I said, all right, I'm just going to acknowledge this because I kept hearing there's real long, heavy strides and in my head, it's just repeating over and over again. And I'm like, there's no way in hell that was a human because it was so heavy. But it's so weird because you hear so many different stories from different people that have had sightings, even like Tyler and some of the other people, like how they glide and sometimes they don't hear them and all this. And, well, I'm like, no, this was. I've seen bears. I've been around bears. I used to live in Bath County, Virginia. I've seen bears. I've heard bears. I've videoed bears before. And this was bipedal, whatever it was, and it had real long strides. And there's nothing that can convince me otherwise, But
now, when people say that it glided, right? They don't mean they're actually gliding, but when you look at the creature running or speed walking, it just looks like they're gliding. There's none of that when people walk. There's that up and down, but with these creatures, whatever it is about their locomotion, it's just a straight line. It's like they're being pulled along. They still make tons of damn noise when they're doing this. They're still very much running. For anybody out there that, may be confused on that. That was the one thing, like my skeptic buddy, he kept hearing the people say that, oh, it would look like it was gliding. And that's what he was thinking is like, what do you mean you're trying to tell me it's gliding? And I'm like, no, brother, it's the way it looks. It's the way it's perceived. It's not what they're actually doing. But anyways, yeah, Richie B says like it's like on ice. It's like they're on ice or like they're on roller skates. You know what I mean? Just one solid straight line. So what happened? Did you start getting into Bigfoot research even further after this? Or were you just like, yeah?
You know what? 100% because I literally like, I live, eat, and breathe that stuff right now. And I guess I can't call myself I don't know what level you become a researcher, but I'm very curious and I try and go out there. But I believe I'm a tough individual. I had a tough upbringing. I think I'm strong. But on both encounters, I was like, yeah, I might be a little out of my league on this one.
Right.
So I'm not going to lie to you. I had fear. And when you're in the middle of BFE by yourself, and you don't have a pew-pew, all you have is an 8-inch blade, and you're like, if I get outnumbered here, I'm probably going to have a problem.
Yeah. Well, the things that are run through your head when you're out by yourself. I like to camp by myself when I'm Bigfooting. I like to go out these spots and sleep off alone. And even right now on paper, it is the best thing to do if you want a Sasquatch encounter is to be by yourself.
I believe that.
However, every single time I'm sitting there by myself in the dark, it's like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, why did you come out here? Because I know people think, oh, because somebody said it. Oh, you got balls of steel, blah, blah, blah. No, dude, not at all. I am terrified. Like, don't get me wrong, because these things scare the shit out of me, but I'm trying to learn more. Right. And so it's a give and a take.
That's comforting because, like I said, but I think I'm like manly. I feel like I'm manly in so many ways. But like one thing, like I've done a lot of crazy shit in my life. Catching shoplifters, fighting crazy ass people. I caught shoplifters in Baltimore. I never had fear. Never had fear of death or anything like that. But the stupidest, like I'm gonna set a different word, wimpy stuff. Like I have a terrible fear of heights. I get all like dizzy and wobbly when I get up in heights, and it's just crazy. But like I still try and attack those fears. But like when I had my second incident, I was like, yeah, this is really freaking weird. And I wanted to witness, so, you know, but that's that.
It's always, you talked about your fear of heights. I didn't know that other people had this too, but like when I get in a really high thing, I have this fear that I'm about to jump.
I get like vertigo. I get really, really, like seriously like dizzy, and I just like it pisses me off because I'm like, man, I'm a dude, you know. Like,
we ain't supposed to be up there, bro. That's their body telling you to get down, homie.
I just got back from camping at Big Lagoon State Park, and they have an observation tower there, and I've been on it before, and I actually made it to the third tier, the highest tier, and but I was real dizzy when I did it before, and then it was kind of windy the other day when I did it, and I got a video coming out in a day or two, but I only made it to the second tier. I'm like, F this. I'm like, I ain't got nothing to prove.
Right on. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into your second encounter. You know what? I hate to do this. Hold on one second. I had a guy just complain about the audio, and I'm seeing if there's any other issues with it.
I just need a little, hopefully that helps.
It's like when the echo comes back, it's like shutting you off and catching the echo. But anyways, I wonder if you called. Yeah, if you called me, if we like got off the phone and then you called me and I put you on, it would be a clearer. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I think. Yeah, I think let's try that. Go ahead and disconnect, and then call me, and we should be better. I'm sorry, everybody watching. We're gonna try to, because it was okay at first, and then it started sounding bad again. But yeah, go ahead and disconnect off of here and give me a call.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. Okay, so we're going to try to get all this straightened out. So that way we can have the best reception. Does he have a headset? No, he doesn't. And I think that's the issue, Richie B. So he's going to call me here in just a second. I'm going to make sure I'm hooked up to the board. And then y'all should be able to hear just fine. I would hope. Maybe it's service, but I think it's the headset. Yeah, I am connected to the Mixcast. He's in a hotel room, so it's kind of echoey. Not the best situation, but we were doing the best we could with what we had. You know, I wanted to get his story that he's about to tell is insane. It's pretty creepy. I don't want to spoil it, but it was pretty cool. What's up, Jerry from Cape Breton Island, Nova Scotia, Canada? How's the weather up there, buddy? Because I bet it's cold. We have been having the worst rain. Like, it has been raining all day, and so my pool We swam in it over the weekend. It was good on Sunday. We put some chlorine on Saturday night, and here it is Wednesday, and that thing looks like a damn stagnant pond. Green. So, okay, here we go. Hey, buddy, are you there? Let me see if he's on this other one. Hold on, dude. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Not real loud, but I can hear you. Yes, sir.
You can hear me. Okay, we're good to go. We're good to go. All right. So I'm sorry about this, but this is better for the audience to get the story a little bit clearer. So, anyways, so you have this first encounter. All right. You start researching it. Okay. You start investigating in some, does any of that involve like online research?
Yeah, I checked a lot of stuff in the area. I've done it so many times, trying to find out, is the Florida Panhandle a hot spot? I used to live in Southwest Florida, and I've been to the Stalking Museum down there in the Everglades, so I knew that area was a hot spot. And I still didn't know a ton about the Panhandle as far as that goes, but it would make sense to all the forests and stuff like that. So yeah, I was delving into it, and I kept finding a bunch of different information on it. So yes, sir, that's my answer.
Right. Now, did you hear any encounters around where you had yours?
There was.
Hey, bud, are you on speakerphone?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Can you switch to just your regular? So we're having the same issue again.
Can you hear me now?
There we go. All right.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So did you hear of any encounters around in your area where you had yours?
Yeah, there was about probably less than a year ago. Well, there was a couple different things. I somehow randomly came across a young YouTube channel that was, how do I say this? There's a place called Quintet Boat Ramp. It's in Escambia County, and I'm pretty certain that's part of the Escambia River. And a guy did a video one day, and it's so weird because I just randomly happened to come across that like months prior to him doing his video. And you go down this like bumpy dirt, like gravel road to get to the boat ramp, and the woods would be off to the left as you're coming in. And I remember there was like this one little opening, like a path or whatever, and he talked about seeing some type of creature. It almost sounded like he was trying to describe it like a dog man, but it was like never really clear. So I had commented on his post, and I wanted to talk to him. I had questions, and I never heard back from him, and I can't find any more information about that guy's channel anymore. So I don't know what the deal is with that. But then the guy I used to work with, I didn't really know him when we worked together, but he would come in the store, and I have one of those dark hats you get from Walmart that has Bigfoot with the sunset silhouette in the background.
Oh, yeah.
And so he started talking to me about that, and I said, yeah, I'm a believer, and so we started talking, and he said he had two different incidents. One when he was younger, somewhere near, they were both kind of in the same area, kind of like, I don't know if you know where like Juniper Creek is, somewhere around that area.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he tried to pull up a map on his phone. He was trying to tell me about it, but he says they visually saw a Bigfoot twice, but they were like 10 years apart. And so I said, well, would you be willing to do a podcast with me? He said, yeah, no problem. He gave me his name and phone number. and about a week or two later, I touched base with him. I had a perfect spot to do a podcast. I was even going to pay him for his time, and then he never replied. And then, I saw him numerous times where I work, and he just always seemed to avoid me. So I don't know if he's hiding something, if he wasn't truthful or whatever, but he seemed like very truthful when he was telling me. So I don't know if he's got something to hide, doesn't want to be on video, but so that was that.
Yeah, that's kind of it. It sucks, but that's the way it goes, I've had whole trips and left my house and talked to people and then get into the place where I was supposed to meet them and they never show up. And that place is like 4 or 5 hours away from my house. So
that sucks.
Yeah.
That's not good.
And then it's, hey, what was worse was, I can't do it today, man. Something just come up. Can you hang around till in the morning? I'm like, all right. So I get a hotel, hang around till in the morning, ghost my ass again.
No, that's
like,
not cool.
Dude.
It really pissed me off with this guy because I really like trusted him. I was like, wow, this could be really cool, and the area he was talking about is 100% believable, and he was so detailed. He was trying to pinpoint it on this map, and it just sounded really credible. But then, like, when it came time to put up or shut up, he shut up.
Yeah. Well, some people sometimes I think they just get camera shy and they bit off too much and they're like, oh damn, and they don't want to be a dick about it, and I don't know. And then there's also people that are just messing with us. So, well, you had another encounter.
Yeah. Would it be, I kind of would prefer, if it's okay with you, sir, can we kind of go in chronological order and talk about the incident my subscriber had, and then?
Oh yeah, sure, bud. Yeah, I couldn't remember if that one was before or after this one.
No, his was before my second incident.
Okay.
So this was weird because Mystic Springs is probably 40 miles from Milton area, and I was camping at Carrick Lake North in Baker, Florida. And I was there for a few nights or whatever. And one night I was just doing I was just doing a chit chat session around the fire pit or something like that. And I saw a guy and his wife walk by walking their dog. And I saw the guy look at me a couple times. No big deal. People don't usually see people talking to a phone on a tripod. So that's different for them. But anyway, so the next morning I see the guy coming up to me and he's like, hey, by chance, do you do YouTube? And I said, yes, sir. And, and then he asked me the name of the channel. I tell him, and he's like, I knew that was you. I recognize your voice and all this stuff. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. And he goes, you're the reason we went to Mystic Springs. And I'm like, no kidding. That is so cool to hear, He goes, yeah. And I said, out of curiosity, what site did you go to? And he gets real animated and he kind of like puffs up his chest a little bit and steps towards me. He's like, site number 7, the most primitive one, the one you were talking about. And I'm like, no shit, right? I'm like, that's pretty wild. And I'm like, by chance that anything weird happened to you out there? He goes, oh yeah. He goes, we heard tree knocks all night long. And then even at one point in the night, we heard it sounded like 2 pipes being banged together. And I said, I believe it, brother. You don't have to convince me. I believe it. There's no doubt in my mind. Plus, he said he heard the train. There's a train that's actually like on the border of, I think it's called McDavid right there. Mm-hmm. And there's mills around there. So I've heard trains, but I've never heard them in the night. But I'm not saying they never came through. I sleep pretty heavy in the van when I do.
Now, you keep saying site 7. How close are the sites? Can you see the other one from where you're at?
You can barely see site 8. It would be closest to the road coming in, but there's a lot of trees and foliage and stuff. You can barely see the roof of the pavilion, that other pavilion. Yeah. And the ones that are behind in the wooded area where the noises first started, you can't see any of those campsites from 7.
Right.
It's definitely the most remote site out there.
Okay, so you got some good space in between
sir.
sites. Right on. Okay, well, so how did that make you feel, man? And go ahead and, by the way, tell everybody your YouTube so they can go check it out, dude.
All right. It's don't take this wrong, people. It's just a catchy name that catches people's attention and draws viewers. It's called Jail Bait and Tackle Outdoors. And I'm not the world's greatest YouTuber. I like to do it for fun, and I just try and enjoy nature and capture it the best I can currently.
Jailbait and tackle. I like that.
Outdoors, yes, sir.
Yeah, jailbait and tackle outdoors. That's pretty good, man. That is catchy, dude. Okay, so what happens next chronologically?
Okay, so almost like a month later, I actually go out there because the weather had been so bad and just different stuff. I finally get out there. Well, it wasn't just the weather, but when the weather was decent in that time period, that site was already reserved at times. So I was trying to find a good time slot that worked for me because I was still working at that time. And I was like, I need to find a good day. So I go back out there April 18th of this year. And I've got it all figured out. I showed you the video. I sent you the video today. So I think you have an understanding how I was parked at maybe like a 45-degree angle to the pavilion. And but I was on an angle where it was closest to the lagoon. That was off to the passenger side.
Right.
And so I had it all figured out. Like this is the night. This is the night I'm gonna. I've got this. I bought a new lantern. They had a fire ban, so I couldn't have a fire. But I had two different magnetic lights from Harbor Freight. I put one on the back door of the van and one on the above my head where I had my chair back by the driver's side by the bumper. So I was all set up. I was ready to capture all this, and I'm like, man, I got this. This is no problem. As soon as the sun went down, it got freaky. It didn't take long for the woods to come alive, and like we were going through a real bad drought at that time, and the lagoon, which would connect with the Escambia River, was so dried up. It was like two ponds, and there's like a little path that goes down to the river right where I was next to where I was parked. And so I know what bullfrogs sound like, and I know what alligators sound like because I've been around them, for a long time. And I started hearing the bullfrogs, which is no problem. And then I started hearing what sounds like alligator grunts to me. Sounded like one or two, and then it sounded like four, and then it just they were like the sounds were becoming so amplified, and they sounded like they were like massive amounts were coming towards me. But I know this was going to sound odd, and I've heard this before, and I even researched it and kept researching it. I've heard Bigfoot or Sasquatch, whatever you want to call them, can emulate the sounds of nature. And so I'm like, all right, this is really weird. When I was hearing those sounds, it didn't sound like they were coming from ground level. It sounded like the grunts, the projections were like as tall as me, if not taller. But they sounded like they were probably within 15 feet of me on the other side of the van. And at that point, I called it. I was like, all right, I'm getting back in the van. This is, it sounded like I was being flanked by a lot of weird noises. And I was like, all right, I can't do this by myself. So I called it at that point, and then there was more weird stuff that happened. But if you or anybody else has any questions to this point, I'll try and answer it. But I'll tell you about
let's go ahead and get into the rest of the stuff, man.
All right, so I am in the driver's seat now. Van strategically pointed in a direction that if I ever had to leave in an emergency, that I could just drop it and drive and go. And so I was kind of, just sitting there in the van, just on my head on a swivel once again. Well, I look out the driver's, my driver's door window, and I look up into the trees. And this was the weirdest shit I've ever seen in my life. This was so freaking weird. All of a sudden, I see all these eyes, like big eyes, in like a vertical cluster. But they were like at 11 o'clock. I would say maybe 4.5, 5 feet wide, basically. But they were all like vertical, and they were like from, like, I would say maybe like 8 to 10 feet off the ground, all the way up to like way in the trees. And I'm like, wow, that's some weird shit right there. And I was like, so I rolled down the window a little bit just to see if I could hear anything, and I'm not hearing any more noises. But I'm seeing all these, they look like eyes. That's all I could describe it. But they would be like, they were like blinking at times, like, if that makes sense. And I initially I'm thinking like, I've heard people talk about orbs, but I kind of don't believe in the orbs. Personally, that's just me, but I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed anyway. But so I kept looking and looking and looking. And then like literally like 10 minutes after that happens, I'm looking, because I kept looking to the right and to the left, and then I looked to the left again. Now that entire vertical cluster of what looks like eyes to me is now at like 10 o'clock. And I'm like, oh shit, that's really weird. There's no more at 11 o'clock like I had seen. And I cracked the window one more time. I'm just trying to listen. I don't hear any noise. And then like 10 minutes later, it's at 9 o'clock. Then it's at 8 o'clock, 10 minutes later. And then I'm like, all right, I'm thinking, all right, here, I'm getting flanked or something weird's happening. And after that, it was all over. It was all over. I didn't hear anything. Nothing else happened. I was really nervous to stay there. I even stayed there the second night, and I heard a couple little weird grunts the next night, the 19th, but nothing like I'd heard the night before. So I kept doing all this. I felt like the place was haunted. I think I talked to you about this a little bit. And I started wondering, like, what if there had been like a homicide there, something, just something weird. So I checked that, and there had not been a homicide at that site. I just felt like something was really unusual about that site. So then I found out there someone did self-terminate themselves at the boat ramp, which is like 40 or 50 yards away, 60 yards away. And so I was like, okay, well, probably not that. But then I kept doing more research. So I started thinking, what if there was like some chimpanzees or monkeys or something that escaped from like a refuge or something like that, or, some type of animal rescue or something like that. And I couldn't find anything near that area. And I just kept trying to figure out what could justify me seeing what I saw. And the only thing I came up with is there's something called barred owls. Mm-hmm. And they live in pine trees, and they're known to be in that area. And they're known to move silently, kind of like what I had seen. So that could explain the eyes or the / orbs or whatever I saw. And I started wondering, like, I wonder if other people thought they were seeing orbs, but they're seeing these like barred owls that are known to hang out in pine trees. So that's
so there's a difference, right? It sounds incredibly unlikely that what you saw were owls, just because you're talking about eyes that were stacked up on top of each other. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Was that when they were stacked vertically? Is that like a straight line, or is it kind of off? Like maybe sitting on branches.
No, they were, like I said, they were like, just picture if, like I said, if approximately, I don't know, 5 feet wide, maybe.
Yeah.
But they were all like, I guess I couldn't see the actual tree at night, but picture they were like where the limbs meet the tree trunk. You know what I mean? So like basically 4 or 5 feet wide. That's what it looked like from a distance. But yeah, that's what I saw.
Now, did you have a light on, or was it total darkness and you just seen these lights?
No, the only light I had, which made it a little bit difficult at first, was the light from my phone that was kind of giving me a little bit of a glare on the inside of the van. And once I figured that out, I turned the phone down so it wouldn't illuminate inside the van, or it created glare so I could see better.
So, okay. If you have no other lights on, the owls don't just illuminate their eyes. They have to be shined with a light to make it reflect. Right. So unless there was like your headlights were on, because there's no way, I guess, your phone would have done that to the distance of the trees.
No way.
So you're going to, I don't know, it would, even from a skeptic's point of view that's saying that orbs and Bigfoot don't exist, they would most likely have to tell you, if you didn't have no light on, that the lights were not coming from owls.
Okay. I mean,
you know what I mean? So, did you stay the night, or what happens next?
I stayed the night, and like I said, I stayed that night, and I said, all right, I went into town, got some groceries, got some ice and beer and stuff like that, and came back. I said, all right, let me try it again. And the next night I did hear just a couple like grunts, but not like the full-fledged fleet that I heard the night before.
Right. Now what happens next? Do you leave there the next day, or
I left, I was there the 18th, 19th, and so I probably would have left the morning of the 20th, whatever that was. Might have been like a Monday morning or something. I don't remember what the dates were exactly.
Right. Now you just, you didn't hear nothing else really? I mean, you said you heard the grunts, but was there anything else that was significant? Do you think they just kind of moved in that one night?
The second night I was there, after my second encounter, there wasn't a whole lot of activity now.
Okay. Well, where does it go for you in your Bigfooting world after this second encounter? Do you even get more invested into it, or you kind of start backing away from it?
No, I had some stuff going on. My mother just passed away on April 12th, so I had some of that stuff to deal with, and trying to figure out, my future. And, I just recently retired, so I'm in like week 3 of retirement. So I've been trying to get out to the woods and do different things. And I do want to go back out there, but I prefer to go out there with somebody else, to be honest with you. I have no problems at any other sites other than 7. 7 is some weird stuff happens out there. So I don't know what more I can do out there. Oh, the other thing I forgot to, I think I talked to you about this briefly, and I just want to tell you, viewers or listeners, whatever. When the stuff was happening with those alligator sounds, I turned on my phone and I went to hit record. Not that I knew it was too dark to capture any video, but I wanted to capture the sounds. And after 1 second, it shuts down. I turn on I do it again, and I'm looking at my screen. It's fully illuminated. and I've done like almost 2,000 videos, so I know how to work the damn phone. And I do it again, and I'm trying to capture the sounds of the alligators, and after 1 second again, it shut off. It was like my electronics were blocked. And it was so weird because I remember hearing other people talk about that, that they could have like special powers or some weird stuff. Like that's why a lot of people don't capture stuff on trail cams and stuff like that. So that was another weird thing that happened. I was like, damn it, I at least wanted to capture the sounds.
Right. It's always good to have an audio recorder. It's always good to set up trail cams, right? Like I have some pictures. Okay. I know people say they don't get Bigfoot pictures. I got a really good picture. It's you can't tell it's from a Bigfoot. But I have a lot of stuff that I haven't put out because Bigfoot hasn't been proven yet. Once Bigfoot's proven, it's a lot easier to, hey guys, come look at this stuff that I caught this. Because right now, if you just throw stuff out online, sure, you'll have people that support you, but you'll also have people that call you a liar and yada, yada. You know what I mean? I think I had somebody accusing me of being trans because I had a Bigfoot video, which really didn't make no sense, but it happened anyway. So I'm moving on with my life. But so what happened to you after this? Or what are you doing nowadays? What's your future look like? Are you trying to have more encounters? What are you wanting to do with all this?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely like, I would love to go back there with some researchers, maybe yourself or Tyler and both of you guys or something. I just, I feel like it could be more convincing seeing the location, understanding the location, the layout. And I would love to go back there. And since I just retired, I have a lot more time to do some more exploring, and I'm getting a little bit more money now than I had before. So I can invest in like snake boots and stuff like that, where I can actually get into the woods. And I've been wanting to get a trail cam or two and stuff like that. But yes, so that's that. I mean, yeah, I want to go all in and do my research, but I feel almost handicapped, if you will, doing it by myself with the limited resources I have currently. So,
right. Well, I have a guy. Are you still in Milton?
Yes, sir.
I have a guy on here, Papa Squatch Productions. He's a good friend of mine. I had him on the show because he shot a Bigfoot, and he's about 30 minutes from you. Now, I don't think he was 30 minutes from you when he shot the Bigfoot. I think it was around north of Chipley, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
But anyways, I could hook you up with him. I'm sure he would love to come out there and actually take a look. And maybe sleep in your van with you. I know he's a welcoming fella.
My van's a train wreck.
Yeah,
he would rather sleep with Bigfoot than sleep with me. I promise you that.
But anyways, yeah, he would come out and check it out. Also, there's Tyler. I can get you in touch with Tyler if you'd like. And how far do you know about where Tyler got his footage at?
What's weird? I think I'm like 90% certain of this. Like these different military installations, like there's Eglin, and then they have these like sub branches all around different areas, just like NAS has it and all these different things. So like Eglin Air Force Base may own different parcels in different sections.
Yeah.
They're like different, like training grounds. So I know the area near Escribano Point. I don't know if you know where that is, off of 87.
Mm-hmm.
There's a section of Eglin there. So I'm not sure which section he was referring to, but that's what I know.
Right. Yeah, I know Eglin carries covers a whole big area, like multiple counties or stuff like that. But I know he's not too far from Okay. Maybe are you familiar with? I think it's Niceville.
I know the general area. It's kind of like near Crestview, I believe, somewhere out there.
Yeah. Do you know where the dental school is? It's right out by the interstate.
Not right offhand.
Okay.
No,
Well, anyways, it's not far from there. That's the exit we got off on when we went out there to the location where Tyler got his footage. But it doesn't sound like he's too far from you. Anyways, if you wanted, I could put you in touch with Jason. He's got a good group of guys there, and I know they'd be foaming at the mouth to come out there.
that would be awesome. I'd love that. The other thing is, when Tyler was talking about the gentleman who had Polaroids, of Bigfoot or whatever, and he talked about the guy with Parkinson's. He's always on the Yellow River fishing. Well, I've become friends with an older guy. He's actually in really good shape for his age. I think he's 82, but he looks like he's like 70 maybe. But he has Parkinson's, and they launch almost every day out of Brown's Fish Camp in Milton on the Yellow River. So it got me thinking, like, could this be the same guy? Because he drives a black Ford, I want to say like an F-250 with a cap on it, and he's fishing with his brother-in-law all the time. So I was just kind of curious if it was the same guy, but I was like, wow, this is so weird. It just happened to fall upon that, your interview with him. I was like, wow.
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, like, I don't know if it got picked up in the like local Facebook pages or something there, but I got so many people reach out to me, talking to me in the comments or sending me emails or giving a call, about their encounters right around the Eglin area.
Have you, well, the one guy I was telling you about, I don't think I articulated well tonight, but the guy that used to work where I worked, and he was, he reneged on doing the podcast, but he had told me that because he was working for a while at the Love's truck stop down here in Milton, East Milton, and he said that he had conversations, 2 different conversations with some BFRO researchers, and they were there doing research at Eglin.
Huh.
And that's what he said. Now, that was so weird because that was like, 6, 7, 8, 9 months ago when he told me that. And I'm like, yeah, I believe it, because, it's protected area, nobody else is allowed in there. So that would be perfect for them, And have you ever heard of Bigfoot Crossing in Jay, Florida by chance?
No, I have not. What is this?
Okay, this is a really interesting story. Here's a guy I've been wanting to do a podcast with. I've never met him in person, but Jay, it's right there. Basically, it's considered Jay, but it's actually like Berrydale. And there's like a little like 4-way light there. And he has it's called, I'm looking at the business card right now. It's called Bigfoot Crossing Campground and Eatery. And it's a really nice little place. And the reason it's called Bigfoot Crossing was because many years ago, I'm guessing, I don't know the exact date, but I would say maybe like 10 or 15 years ago, he saw a Bigfoot cross the road there. And it's a real wooded area there. Well, I don't know if he owned the land at that time or whatever, but he saw a Bigfoot cross the road there. So he has a restaurant there called Bigfoot Crossing right now.
Oh, I have heard of this place. I have heard of it. Yes. There was somebody telling me about it.
The owner's name is Fernando, and I was just in there like about a week ago. Matter of fact, if you look at my profile picture on the YouTube page for Jailbait and Tackle Outdoors, my picture is with Bigfoot, like one of the little sculptures they have in there. And it's really, really good dining. The campground is not really open yet, and it's kind of primitive. I guess they're trying to work through some code enforcement stuff. But when I asked a lady there when I was there recently, they said Fernando's out of the country, so I don't know where he is. Like if he was, I don't know if he's Cuban or what the deal is, but they said his son, his daughter, or the lady that was the manager there would do a podcast and, give all the details. Personally, I prefer to talk to him, but I've tried a couple times. I tried a couple times to reach out, and that's about as far as I've gotten was that. So it's a cool little place, and I'm sure he's got a hell of a story.
Yeah, no doubt. It sounds like it if he took his whole restaurant, there with like Bigfoot. I wonder if the restaurant was inspired by the sighting.
It was. It definitely was.
Right.
I just don't know if he owned that at the time of his sighting. Apparently I think he's doing okay in the construction business. So he may have already owned that little area there. I'm not really sure. Right.
Well, let me ask you, since you've been looking into this and the few experiences you've had, what do you think Bigfoot is? Do you have a theory?
I am, like I've said before, and I've told people, I can only go with what I have and like just what I believe in my heart. And I feel it is like Tyler was talking about, I believe it's flesh and blood type of primate. That's what I believe.
Right.
I've watched so many different channels, about talking about Bigfoot and different things. There was one, you may remember this. I don't remember. It's been years ago since I heard this, but a guy reported seeing a Bigfoot and then it dwarfed into like a white deer and then disappeared into like an orb. And I was like, what do they call those deers that are like deer that are white? Palomino or something like that.
Yeah,
and then
something like that.
And then turned into an orb. Now that kind of stuff, I'm not saying it's not true. It's hard for me. I've never been like a sci-fi scientific, nerd like that. So that stuff's hard for me to believe. I'm not saying it's not true. It's just hard for me to believe. And
let me
until
ask
I
you
see
a
it
question.
myself.
I get that. I get seeing it yourself, and it sounds like you already have with the lights that you saw, because nothing really self-illuminates. Do you believe in ghosts? Do you believe in God?
Oh man. Well, the first, I do believe in ghosts. Yes, I do believe in ghosts.
Okay.
And the second part of your question, I'd rather refrain from that because we don't have enough time for me to talk about my beliefs on that topic.
Oh, well, it was just to get to the point of what we were talking about. But if you can believe in the paranormal, then why would it be a stretch that this Bigfoot may actually be something interdimensional, or maybe not what we think it is? Because I think when people say it's flesh and blood, they're thinking that if it's going interdimensionally, that it can't be flesh and blood, right? Like me and you could travel interdimensionally theoretically, right? And then when people talk about ghosts, well, Bigfoot leaves the tracks. And I think that just a lot of Bigfooters don't have any knowledge of the paranormal. But one of the oldest tricks in the game is if you got wooden stairs with no carpet on them or nothing, and you're in a haunted house doing an investigation, to put flour all over the floor, because the spirits will leave tracks. So just something to think about. I often wonder, because the primate theory to me, and I'm not bullying on you because so don't take this wrong. Not saying nothing because you believe it's a primate. That's perfectly fine. My own opinion with the primate thing is that it being a primate only only explains about 40% of the Bigfoot phenomena. There's other 60% of this that is absolutely weird as shit and makes no sense. You know, and I hope one day that you'll get the encounter. Most people that stay Bigfooting, they'll see lights soon enough. And it's not just seeing the lights, it's seeing the lights in correlation with a Bigfoot encounter. Right?
Yeah. Well, that's what was so weird, because like I try and look at everything from all angles. I'm not trying to say, okay, it was this, you know. I try and really analyze, like, well, what could it have been? That's why the only logical thing I could come up with was possibly those owls. But since you're saying what you said, then it may not have been the owls, but that was the only possible reason for me seeing that. And I couldn't. It was just so weird that I saw all these eyes, what looked like blinking eyes to me, and I never heard any noise. It was just weird. I just couldn't. I just didn't make sense to me. So were they orbs? I don't know. I mean, they look like eyes blinking to me, but once again, I'm not saying it was or wasn't, but I'm just reporting what I saw the best I could describe.
Yeah. I know when I talked to Jason, text me right now. I know you're still watching. Text me. Tell me if you want to go out there and meet this guy. But if he does come down there to meet with you, if y'all can line something up, it would be cool if you had an illustration, like whether you can draw or not. That's not the point. You can damn draw what you saw, at least to some degree. Like, hey, they were all in a straight line. You know what I'm saying? This is what I saw. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's a bad drawing, doesn't matter. But it'd be cool to have something for reference.
You want me to do that when he's there or prior to? I mean,
prior to, so you can give it to him, man, and then you can walk him through and tell him. Oh, he said absolutely. He said absolutely wants to talk to you. So I'll give him your number after this is over with, if that's all right with you, and he can call you.
That's fine. I mean, yeah, I'm definitely not an artist, but you can share the video, and basically, I talk about in the video how the van was parked.
Yep.
I was looking at 11 o'clock, then it was 10 o'clock, then it was 9 o'clock. It was like, that's pretty, I don't know what more I can show you, just other than physically point to the trees. It was this section, this section, this section. I mean,
right, like pointing to the trees. Justice. Pointing to the trees is one thing, right? But like having a drawing of it, this is what it looked like. That's something completely different, right? That puts it more of it puts an image into the investigator's head or whoever else that may be listening to your story. It might be something cool that maybe one day you can get on AI and figure out how to, exactly recreate it. That would be cool as hell.
It's like 40 miles away. I go run out there and take still pictures. That's about the best I could do. Other than the video I've already shot out there, but yeah,
And this video, that video wasn't a private link, right? That's on your channel, correct?
Yeah, it's a public video that I've had for my channel. Yes.
Okay. Well, cool, brother. Well, hey, man, I appreciate it. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about before we got off of here? Is there anything we're leaving out?
Nothing I can think of. No, I think we covered it all. Just I guess the one thing I'm curious about is I've heard people talk that a Bigfoot / Sasquatch can emulate other sounds of nature. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. They tend to go with owls a lot, but they'll also try to mimic you. And this is kind of what bothers me with what these creatures are, right? We start getting into when we're getting into the mimicry, it's weird because I think we ignore certain things that have been explained to us in the past with like demons, right? When we go into these things, especially when we enter the realm of telepathy and stuff like that, it starts making me think that Bigfoots may not be on the up and up, like on the nice end of things, right? I absolutely will tell you that I don't fucking know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
but if I'm to sit here and guess, I'm really worried because some of my friends do this. They'll have a gifting spot for Bigfoot,
Mm-hmm.
right? That is an altar, and you are gifting something. Let's hope it's just a primate. I hope for your sake it's just a primate, because if you're going out there and gifting something, almost making a false idol out of something that can read your mind and communicate with you telepathically, that strange lights show up, these sulfuric smells, they'll run your camera equipment dead immediately. I mean, hell, even the druids, that's where we get the term knock on wood. If they needed something in their lives, it was basically a prayer. They would go out in the woods and make their intention of what they needed. Maybe your daughter is sick and you go out there and you're hoping for blessings for your daughter, and you knock on a tree, and if you got a return knock, it would come true. And so that was always the term knock on wood. I think we may be dealing with something completely different, and the data is there for us to at least not do gifting, because I'll get, like I said before, I don't know, and chances are I'm wrong. But if I'm right, and these
Mm-hmm.
things are demonic or something of that nature, and you're leaving offerings to the shit to come into your life, because there's the tagging. I don't know. Do you feel like you've experienced that?
I've heard people talk about that. I almost, it's kind of weird. If that subscriber of my channel hadn't had his encounter on March 14th of this year, I might have felt like I was tagged, because it would be my second encounter, and I wouldn't have known. Like, I don't know if other people have had encounters out there that maybe are just too afraid to talk about it or whatever. But when that guy was telling, like, I can believe in being tagged. I don't know that I've been tagged, but when I talk to you about my phone not working, when I tried to record twice and I only recorded for a second each time, what do you think about that? Do you think, like, I mean, I know how to work my phone. I know how to record, and I just found it so odd that it felt like my phone was blocked when I was trying to capture those sounds. So I felt like there was some intervention, so to speak.
Yeah, you and that's what I'm talking about with the equipment going dead, the equipment malfunctioning. We viewed these damn things a dozen times through our thermals that recorded, and for some reason or another, they never did. And I didn't have a card in my thermal on the expedition that Jason and Rachel and some of the people in the chat were on. And we had a damn visual sighting. Multiple people had it from a thermal that had no card in it. So it just always seems like that. And after a while, the coincidence explanation gets old. How many damn coincidences can I have?
Right. Yeah, I want to, and I think now would be a good time. I'm not a big hunter. I'm not a hunter at all, to be honest with you. So I don't know when deer season opens up, but I know that campground gets really busy during deer season. And so I would think it'd probably be more conducive to do it sooner than later when it gets really congested. And I'm already registered in their system. Like I said, told you before, you have to log in their system to be able to see the availability on the sites. If you were just to go to Mystic Springs and look at the thing, it's going to look like they're all booked, but it's not accurate until you're registered, and then you can see the true availability.
Right. Well, yeah, it's just, I think at the end of the day, it's your Bigfoot experience is going to be different than mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you have a lot of different books from people, you can kind of see that when you look into like Psychic Sasquatch from Kawani, and some of these other books, everybody's journey through Bigfoot, while it revolves around the same thing, is a lot of times drastically different than the other person's.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what to make of that.
When Tyler was talking about not smelling, I was like, wow, thank God for that, because I was like, I know my sinuses were bad, but when I hear so many people talk about how nasty it smells like, I'm like, well, I didn't smell any of that. But like I told you before, I don't know which way the wind was blowing. I wasn't really thinking of that. I was, focused on the noise in front of me.
Yeah. I didn't smell anything in my whole time that I've been doing this. I've only smelled something one time. And when we smelled it, we were over this part of a road that had these culverts running through it. And these big culverts you could walk through. Now, of course, you had to crouch down, but you could walk through the shit, right? And I smelled it, and I immediately went to, all right, there's somebody dead here. Because when I was younger, I had the pleasure of finding a couple of people who had been deceased for a little bit, right? And that smell, you never forget that smell. And that's what people describe of the Bigfoot. But when we smelled this, there was about 6 or 7 of us in the group walking down this old logging road. And we smelled this, and I was like, oh no, somebody's dead. Like, this is a person. It smells different than an animal. And so I got down in them culverts and was looking. I was 100% convinced I was going to find somebody's body. And there was nothing there. Thank God. Right. And then we walked down the road. And as we walked down the road, the smell followed us. And I stopped probably 20, 30 yards down the road and said, let's go back the other way. And as we went the other way, there was no more smell. And we heard that thing. We heard something following us in the bushes, but you couldn't tell what it was. It's so thick in Osceola that there could be a 12-foot Sasquatch standing right off the side of the trail, and you would not know it. You just walk right past it, But yeah, that was the only time I've ever smelled something with my encounters. And I'm always trying to stay in an area where the wind's blowing in my face. I'm very conscious of that when I go into the woods. I want to make sure the wind's blowing into my face as opposed to at my back, and if I can help it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to give up my spot. Even if you don't hunt, it doesn't hurt to watch some hunting videos to learn how to hunt.
Right.
Yeah, because those are tools that can work. A lot of things I tell people about is the feed times. So do you fish?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Okay. So that right there at the rising tide's great for fishing. The falling tide is great for fishing.
Exactly.
But once it's high and once it's low, it's kind of not good anymore.
Right.
Well, in hunting, it's the same thing, right? So you have a major feed time. and you get about 2 to 3 hours per day, every day of this major feed time. And if you'll go and park your ass somewhere in the woods along some game trails during those feed times, if you're just sitting still, brother, everything comes out. It's like the damn dinner bell's been rang down in the chow hall. Now everything's coming out to eat, and then through the rest of the day, they don't feed much. Now they will if they're in the area, if they're gorging or something like that. But for the most part, that's when they bed up and rest. They're not going to burn the calories, and this is why you don't see overweight animals in the wild. You may see them in a state park, but that's not the wild. People are throwing that motherfucker Oreos.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's the old hunting thing. Like when I would hunt, I'm not going out there and sitting all day. I'm going doing the feed times. There's a minor and there's a major. I'm going to be out there in one of those. I'm not going and wasting my whole day sitting there waiting on this deer to walk out, because he's going to walk out in the feed time. You know, so you might as well just do that. But like I was saying, there's a lot you can learn, you know, and that will help you, especially if this thing is just a primate. If this is some undiscovered primate, I tend to lean towards it's an undiscovered human, or a human we thought went extinct, like a Neanderthal or a Heidelbergensis or something like that. But anyways, well, buddy, why don't you tell people where they can, you know, find your channel again, and they can watch that video where you describe the campsite and you're showing everybody where you was at when all this went on.
Yeah, the YouTube channel is called Jail, Bait, and Tackle Outdoors. They're all separate words. My profile picture is myself and Bigfoot from Bigfoot Crossing. It's a pretty cool little picture. And I have quite a few videos from Mystic Springs area. And I think I just did the one recently. I forget what it's titled, something about my strange encounter or something like that. I forget what it's titled, but yeah, I've done some videos there. I even did a video, I think I sent you this too, where I even checked the dried up lagoon area. I did a little walk there. I didn't see any footprints that were noticeable to me, but once again, everything was dry. And yeah, if they want to check out my channel, you know, they're more than welcome to. And I always try and acknowledge comments, or I try and get to them pretty rapidly. So.
Right on. Well, buddy, I'm going to send your number along to Jason, and you know, you can hook up with him, especially if you're looking for somebody to go back out there with you. He's closer. I'm a few hours away, but he's like 30 minutes down the road.
Okay.
So I do appreciate you coming on, and if you ever have something, you know, going on, you got my number, questions, whatever, just feel free to hit me up, brother.
Thanks for thinking of me. Like when you were telling the story, you know, the perfect timing and everything, I kid you not, it was probably less than an hour and you were calling me already. I was like, I honestly, like, it was just like, I expected to hear from you maybe by email or something like a couple of days later. And I was almost trembling. I was like, wow, that shit was quick.
Yeah. Hey, dude, it just, you hit me right as soon as you sent it. I was like, I ain't doing shit right now. So I was able to play it, which is like never happens. I'm hardly ever able to reply right away, but the way it worked out. I
appreciate you very much.
Yeah, brother. And I appreciate you coming on here. And like I said, man, don't be a stranger, and keep me in the loop, brother.
I will. Thank you.
All right, buddy. You have a good night.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, everybody. That was a good call, man. That was a good call. He's got some strange stuff at Eglin Air Force Base. You know, that seems to be a very active area for people that may be in the northwestern part of Florida and want to find some Bigfooting. Just go camping out there. There's tons of campsites. You don't actually have to be on Eglin. But we're going to open the lines tonight and take some calls here the next little bit. But first, I'm going to play that trailer from that short film I've got coming out, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. And I hope all you join us for because we don't normally air stuff on Saturday night. So it's a special event, right? But anyways, here is the trailer for Tate, my folk horror short film.
I wish you were here. I wonder if you'd give me a hand. I don't know what to do. What did you do that day? Huh? With that shaman? Listen to me, I'm talking to a dead man like he's gonna answer me. Do you even hear me, Pa? The sap is dried up. What? I cut 3 new trees on the east end of the property last week, and it's like I never cut them at all.
Then what? Yourself. We can't go on like this.
I just need time to think. It's not that simple.
Why is it not that simple said? Why? Lawyer! Who are you people?
To fully understand, you must be without.
Where are you taking me? No, what they say, don't trust you. They don't save you.
Who are you? We've been out here for a long, long time. So let's just leave it at that. I will save you.
All right, everybody, that is it. The trailer for Tate, my folk horror short film. It's a period piece. It takes place back in 1884, and it is based on the legend of Tate's Hell, which if you don't know the legend, it's a good reason to watch the film, right? I guess so. Okay, where are we at? All right. The lines are on, everybody. So if you want to call in, questions, comments, maybe you've got a ghost story, maybe you got a UFO story, maybe you have a Bigfoot story or some other cool shit. It doesn't really matter. It's open line Wednesdays, so give me a call, 850-695-0522. That is the number to call, and we are going to hook up. We're going to hook up Jason and Gary tonight. I know Jason's going to be foaming at the mouth. Pop Smoke, is there any more Journey to Belief films? He's asking. Yes, it is a 4-part series. Episode 2 is going to come out not this Friday, not the next one, but the one after that. And then there'll be 2 more videos in between there. And then episode 3, and then 2 more videos, and we'll drop episode 4. I hope you are enjoying that. You'll notice here next month that some of my content is going to be going on Les Stroud's channel. It's just pretty much, okay, we got our first caller. You're on the Bigfoot Underground.
Hey, Stacy.
How you doing?
Good. It's Tracy. How are you?
Doing all right.
Oh, you're concerning me about the whole Bigfoot evil thing.
Why is that?
Because, I feel like I've been cursed by Idaho. And that's where I saw him, so.
Yeah, well, it just, when I was up in Canada, I brought this theory up that I had, because I usually ask everybody, did their life go to shit after they had their Bigfoot encounter? And I can't find a person to tell me that it didn't. Maybe they got divorced, maybe their house burned down, maybe they had some unfortunate bad string of luck. But it just seems to be that is the way it goes.
Yeah. Yep. I would say it was right around the same time. Like he could have been around, because I was in the area. when it was going to shit. And then, very shortly actually saw him, and then the orbs and everything else. So maybe there's a concentration area that, evil lives underwater or something.
Maybe. Well, now that you're here and you've mentioned that you've had a Bigfoot encounter, you can't just do that and not let the audience hear about your Bigfoot encounter.
What I've already told you.
You've told me, but you haven't told the people.
Oh, I did call in. I was super nervous, and I'm not as nervous this time because I hadn't thought about calling in before. It was so quick, and it was like stepping onto a stage. It was like,
right.
But no, I did. I told you on the security camera, and
that's
as a matter of fact,
my bad.
I didn't have a hard drive in there. I couldn't afford a hard drive at the time. I could only afford to observe.
Right. Well, you got lucky enough to observe, though. And at the end of the day, what if you would have put the video out? Somebody would have told you he was crazy or lying anyways. It doesn't matter.
I was told that anyway, but I wasn't trying that. I was never, wasn't trying to capture video. I was trying to capture my surroundings for safety. So.
Right. Well, that's when it seems to happen when you're not trying to get video of them. People luck out with it.
Yeah.
Well,
I have some questions for you. What do you think? What do you think if you take a step back from asking if Bigfoot is part magical or flesh and blood or whatever, and we step back and ask if we ourselves are merely flesh and blood, flesh and blood. Ooh, I guess I'm still nervous.
So
why is that?
I don't know. What you're trying to say that if I couldn't understand the question.
Well, are we to assume that we are flesh and blood only?
And there you go.
Because
I think we're something that's riding in a meat vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Right.
Because I honestly don't feel like I'm stuck to this body. I'm definitely in it.
I feel like an avatar.
Right. I'm definitely in it. I'm definitely in control of it. Except for my back pain. I can't control that. But I don't think that when I die, I will stay in this. I really do not. Like, because if I wasn't reminded by looking at my arms or my feet or, my beautiful hair,
hunger.
Yeah, I may forget that I'm in a body.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. So, me personally, I don't believe that.
Well, I said something to my daughter recently because for some reason, and this is why I say about I bring up the curse thing, is that there seems to be a veil to where I can't be seen. And my beautiful daughter, she can't see me. So I told her recently, I said, the people that might be living in a reality that they don't believe any paranormal stuff, that they only believe the basic normal stuff that, is okay to believe, that and all the movies are majority real,
mm-hmm.
that maybe that the people that don't believe anything are the ones living in the movie, the non-reality.
Yeah. Like an NPC or something,
And we are in reality.
Right.
So that's,
It's weird when you start thinking about different realities and, because that damn rabbit hole, that's I like to have a couple balls.
You have to assume you know nothing and everything is possible.
Hey, I would have never have believed that I would have seen the Sasquatch. And since then, everything's on the table for me. And it might as well be,
Well, it's all my life I've seen and had all these weird things happen. And unfortunately, haven't had anyone close enough, like that's seen or had any of the same strange things. So I'm a solo adventurer in this world. And
well, it's a good thing we have the internet nowadays. Otherwise, we wouldn't know most of the stuff that we do if it wasn't for people now being able to share their encounters and the weird shit that's going on with them to other people who are also having the same stuff.
Mm-hmm. I was going to write about it. I've been taking notes. I've been studying it all, like the weird stuff, not Bigfoot, but just all the weird stuff like ESP and things that happen like that. Now, I do agree that the philosophy of trauma being connected with some sort of extrasensory perception, because at 6 is when it started for me. Trauma at 6, and then right away I won a football pool, guessing 14 out of 16 win-loss correctly in a line. At 6 years old, I won the football pool at my mom's job.
Nice.
And it didn't stop. And so I know that I can read people's minds. I know what they're thinking. I know what's wrong with people. I pretty much that's why I stay to myself, because I know what people are like. And so I do believe that there's something more to us, as opposed to just what's around us, that we are inside the fishbowl with all the rest of the stuff.
Right. Yeah, I've often thought that all the other dimensions are actually right here. They're just like, maybe you're riding at a different frequency level or something like that.
It's hard to wrap your head around that, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. But what ain't? Me being alive is also hard to wrap my head around, because out of all the chances of, me being the one sperm that made it through, and then me being on this rock in the center of the universe, or not in the center of the universe, but in this vast universe. And it just so happens to be the rock that is perfect for me to breathe. And then all these things, everything lines up. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty unbelievable.
I heard someone, I think it was a Seventh-day Adventist, say that it's more likely that a jet plane just falls together is the same as us. So we're just as intricately designed, which means creator.
100%.
A creator. And I felt when I was modeling with clay, I was pushing the clay around trying to make something. And as I pushed it around, I kept making different animals. Just a little bit more in one direction, you have different ears. Right. So that whole thing with clay, that comes from somewhere.
Right on.
Woo! Well, all right, Stacy. Well, I've been working, and I told you what I'm working on. I won't say anymore, but it's long hours, like a labor of love soon.
Well, when you get the time,
myself.
When you get the time, I'd like to get you on for a longer interview so we can explain it and show the photos and all that stuff.
Oh, what? Photos of?
Like where you had your sighting and things like that.
Oh, the Bigfoot stuff? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I do have my project that I'm working on. I do have Bigfoot did make an appearance in the beginning in the lore of the place that's having the occurrences. So,
right.
But, we can talk about that. I am teaching myself how to do this, and it's pretty cool. And, I would love to talk to you about it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure. I'll just shoot me an email and we'll set up a time.
Okie dokie.
All righty. Well,
all right. I'm going to catch my breath now. You too. Bye, Stacy.
Right. Bye. What? Okay, so next caller, 850-695-0522. The lines are back on. Brian, 2040. Stacy, I keep finding out shit about you. For all the shit you've been through, you're definitely here for a reason, my friend. What reason that is, I think it's just to fucking pay bills. All right, we got another call. Mr. Jared Lowe from the Lowdown Podcast. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, brother?
What's going on, man?
Not a whole lot, man. How you doing?
Doing all right. Just sitting here yapping about Bigfoot on YouTube. You know.
Yeah, man. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Wish I had a better hobby, you know, but there's no bowling leagues around me.
No bowling league.
Nope.
Oh man. Well, I'm on my way down to Miami. I figured I'd give you a call and run something by you, and run something by all the listeners too.
Go ahead, brother.
All right. So when we spoke before, I was telling you about this area that I investigate, right? Well, what we didn't get into is the state came and closed that area down. Right after there was, we were kind of getting some of this activity that we were getting. And then there was supposedly a sighting, a daytime sighting, not too far from where we're at, all around the same time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, and then there were some other people that I was talking to in this area as well, that they wouldn't come out and really say anything, but the way that they were acting when I was talking to them made me feel like it just made me feel like they were spooked, like they had heard some stuff or experienced something, and they got out of there pretty quick. But what was interesting is when they shut this area down, because I tried to go back in there a couple of weeks later, and I called and tried to get a permit. It's one of the permit spots.
Right.
You got to get a permit to get in there, to go camping and whatnot. And they told me it was closed for at least a month. And so I couldn't leave it alone. So I asked them, why they closed it down. And the guy told me that they had to dig up the whole area because they got non-potable water. And he said they had to dig up that whole area to replace all of the underground water pipes.
Right.
So, I was like, all right, well, when is it going to be back up? He said it should be about a month, 1st of June. So I go back out there the first week of June, and it's back open, but there's no signs of any work being done in there. They didn't dig anything up, like nothing. Nothing has been done in there.
Mm.
So that struck me as, suspicious, right?
Yeah, as it should.
So, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, that just, especially with, some of the stuff that we had experienced. I mean, we didn't have time last time I spoke to you, but the last time I was out there, my son saw something walking in the middle of the road in the middle of the night. You don't know what it was, but he saw something in the middle of the road. So, I mean, can't really say what that was, but, just with everything that's been going on in there, it struck me as very suspicious. But I called back and I asked, specifically if they had finished all of the construction that they were doing in there and if we could get back into the camp. And the guy says, yeah, all the work is done. Y'all are good to go. So, I mean, from my perspective, I was lied to twice about why they shut that area down. And so kind of what I'm looking for is anybody, because I've been trying to find any reasonable explanation, because I thought, well, maybe they had planned on doing the work, something happened, they had to postpone it, but it doesn't explain why they didn't go ahead and reopen it once they realized they had to postpone the work. it still doesn't explain why he just, he still told me, yeah, the work has all been done. I don't know, man. So I'm looking, anybody out there that may have information about how the forestry system works, how the state works with these water management areas, anything. I'm looking for any kind of, because I don't want to believe, I want to be wrong about it. I don't want to believe that they were doing some kind of who knows what in there to deal with the Sasquatch, to get rid of them or do something, because I've heard that when they'll have a sort of a cluster of sightings or activity, I've heard that they'll go in and do like an impromptu, controlled burn in some of these areas.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so anybody that's listening, anybody that, if you hear of anything, if you know of anything, I'm looking for any kind of reasonable explanation to kind of put to kind of put that conspiracy mind at ease.
Yeah. I've actually got a good buddy that's helping me with the stuff at Flat Rocks. His name is Brian. I don't think he's here tonight in the chat, but he usually is. Anyways, he's worked for forestry for a long time, so he might be able to shed some kind of light. He may be able to even find out what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
If you want me to, I can send him a message.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I've had a couple of people message me and say, "Hey, I got a guy who might be able to help you out, but I don't, I don't trust just anybody." So,
right,
because I don't want somebody that's just gonna give me some kind of bullshit answer just to kind of,
placate you,
get
you through. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, because I'm looking, because it's one of those things where I'm going back out there. I was out there, like I said, a week and a half ago, and it was untouched. And I'm going back out there again this week. And but yeah, man, anybody you could put me in touch with that might be able to shed some light on that, I would. Because like I said, I want to be proved wrong. I don't want to,
Yeah.
I don't want to think that they would do that. Although, it's the government, so you know what I mean.
Right. You can't never put nothing past them. But I'll definitely.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'll connect you with Brian, and he may be able to help you out. He may be able to find out what's going on. So,
yeah, bro. Yeah,
what are you doing going to Miami late at night?
I'll do that every night, man. I haul beer down to Miami, from Lakeland to Miami every night.
Fuck that, dude.
Yeah, man.
It's probably not that bad of a job. Yes, they do. They need their beer.
It ain't that bad, brother, because I'm down here on 27. I'll be running down along past the Everglades and Okeechobee and all that. So, I'm squatching while I'm driving. So
yeah. And now, do you have a dash cam?
Oh yeah, I got a dash cam.
Okay.
I've got a plan in place. If something crazy happens, you know what I'm saying. I take a mark of what time it is and pull that video. But
how far is that drive?
Yeah,
how
many
hours? How many hours is that drive one way?
About 3:45.
Okay, so you put in an 8-hour day going there and coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it ends up being about 10 hours by the time I get down there and
unload,
drop and hook and do everything I got to do. But yeah, man, it's yeah, it ain't bad, man. It ain't bad.
No, it don't seem too bad. I bet the traffic's not as bad as at night, and it's not hot as hell. I mean, it's still hot, but you ain't got the sun beating down on you.
Yes, it's still hot and muggy, but yeah, it ain't too bad. The traffic's nice. It's it's a pretty good ride. But yeah, man, I'm just trying to, I'm always trying to get through the week so I can get back in the woods on the weekend.
Oh yeah, we live for the weekend, brother. But I tell you, when I was driving Uber during the daytime, the sun beating down on me, I always ended up with a bag of roasted nuts.
Yeah. I know how that is.
Yeah,
I know how that is. I'm glad. Yeah,
miserable.
Yeah, man, and I know I know how it is because my truck, my pickup truck doesn't have AC in it. So whenever I'm driving during the daytime or even coming into work in the evening time, brother, it is rough, man.
Oh yeah, that's
So,
Florida, bro. I wouldn't have it
and
no other
driving-
way. Because I tell you,
making that ride, making that ride up a couple weeks ago up there to you guys, that was brutal, brother.
well, have you checked out to see if you have service at your other spot, the one closer to you?
Oh yeah, the spot, yeah, absolutely. I did a live out there at that spot on YouTube a couple of weeks ago, so I got good service out there. So
well, I plan on doing another
yeah,
one of
man.
them here soon. I'm going to get that stuff together this week, and I'll be in contact with you because I want you to go investigate your area. I want you to be a part of it again.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, we're good to go, man.
Hell
Good to
yeah.
go. I got, like I said, my son he's chomping at the bit, especially after, like I said, whatever. I don't know what he saw. He don't know what he saw in that road that night. But after Torreya, dude, he's chomping at the bit. So he's still, you know what I mean? He's skeptical, and I really respect that, because even though he's young, he's just 20, but he's trying to rationalize everything. He's trying to make sense of it. He's trying to come, but after Torreya, he's chomping at the bit to get back out there. So every time I go, he goes out there with me, and
I'm happy for
so
you,
I'm hoping.
brother. That's
Yeah,
I
man,
wish my son.
great. Yeah,
I wish
great.
my son didn't have his girlfriend, because he would go with me more. But his girlfriend is
well,
fucking insane.
My son just he just got rid of one. So
I feel bad for my dad, because I had a bunch of them, and it was like, man,
yeah,
they were all fucking crazier than sprayed roach.
Yeah, he's talking about he's ready to settle down and everything. I was like, well, that's good, but you're 20, so you got plenty of time,
Fuck you mean settle down, bro? You ain't even left the nest, bro. You're only 20. You need to go live,
I know,
dog.
dude. He's got his own place now and everything. But I said, dude, just let it ride, man. Enjoy this time, man. So
yeah.
But
well, brother, you be careful, man.
Yeah, brother.
And Papa Squatch is pissed off because the reason he didn't get on is because you called.
Oh yeah, well, you got to be quicker than that.
Hell yeah.
Hey, I knew, man. I knew. I'm jealous right now, because I was like, damn, if oh shit, I forget his name, but anyway, if he was closer, but he's right up there by Jason, so that'll be good for him to get in on that and hopefully get something out of it. So that's cool, man.
Yeah, I got a guy I've been talking to down in your area. He doesn't want to be on the show. So I have all these people send me emails, and then some of the people send me the best stories, and they're like, I don't want to be on the show. I'm like, how the fuck did you email me?
Yeah.
Like, what was the point of that? Because all you've done is tease me, right? And you should have just been like, oh, hey, man, I'm just going to save my time and not email you, because that would have been better, right? But, yeah, if I could coax this guy out of hiding. He is down in your area, and he's got a cool-ass story.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and that's the thing, brother. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I'm down here. I know we got there's other researchers down here in the area too, and I know I'm just the new guy getting out here trying to do this. But yeah, man,
a lot of researchers down. And I'm not throwing shade at anybody, okay? But a lot of researchers down in your area all just want to be famous. And you don't.
Yeah.
I don't get that from you. You're just trying to find
I
answers.
don't care about that.
You know? Man. And the rest of the people, it's like they're trying to, I want to get a Bigfoot show on TV. Brother, that's not going to fucking mean that you're going to find Bigfoot.
Yeah. How many Bigfoot shows are on TV now that haven't found anything?
All of them. every one of them.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, dude, and that's what I respect about you, man. You're just a normal dude, bro. And I know if you lived closer to me, we'd kick it all the time. And that's what I like, because you're there for the mystery. You're not there for the damn television shows that you may get on or may not.
Yeah. Yeah, brother.
And it just seems
Yep,
like
that's what it
Central
is, but-
Florida is just eat up with that, right? Like,
Yeah,
that stuff
Yeah,
will
there's a lot,
come.
and-
You know, just go find some shit, and TV will show up. I promise.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That it happens. Yeah, they get out there. So, but yeah, that's the thing, man. I'm just out there like whenever I'll get out there and I'll try to talk to people because I'll just go in. I got to the point where I'll go into some of these Facebook groups, like the hunting Facebook groups and the camping Facebook groups, and I'll just flat out ask, has anybody seen a Bigfoot? Because I used to just say, has anybody seen anything weird in the woods? And you get, yeah, this naked drunk guy walked through my campsite one night, and all that kind of shit. So now I just ask if anybody's seen a Bigfoot or something like that.
Yeah.
People laugh or whatever, but I don't care.
You gotta define what weird is.
Yeah. So.
Well, brother, you be safe,
Well,
man.
brother,
I'll talk to you this week, man. I'll get you that date on when we're gonna do the live stream again.
All right, brother. Sounds good, man. Have a good one.
All right, buddy. Bye.
All right. See you.
All right. That was Jared Lowe from the Lowdown Podcast. In case you didn't know, you should check him out, the Lowdown Podcast on YouTube. Give him a subscribe. He's a really good guy, and he's something that seems to be fleeting, almost as fleeting as Bigfoot in this whole topic, which is authentic and honest, But anyways, the phones are back open. If Jason or somebody else wanted to call 850-695-0522, we'll talk and chop it up. So if you are going to be in Utah in September at Phenomicon, I will be there. I will not be speaking, but I will be hanging out and I will be chatting it up with everybody. So if you're in the area and you come to Phenomicon, it's going to be a great conference. But it's basically the Skinwalker Ranch conference, right? Because everybody from the show, come out there, meet me, say hey. I met a lot of people last weekend at the Great Florida Bigfoot Conference. Rachel's son, he brought me a drawing of his encounter, and I am framing it. Okay, we got another call. You're on the Bigfoot Underground. Who am I speaking with?
Daisy.
What's up, brother?
What's up, brother? This is the Wojo. How are you doing today?
I knew who it was when I heard that voice. I'm doing all right, brother.
That distinctive voice.
How about yourself, man?
Man, I'm telling you, I'm kind of high right now.
You're kind of high right now. Is that what you said?
No, flying high.
Flying high. Like seriously, the flying part cut out. And all I heard was, I'm kind of high right now. I was like, I was, but it's worn off. So.
No, I don't do that stuff. And not only that, guys, Jared is a good dude. I'll tell you. Check out Jared Lowe. He's awesome guy. But anyways, the reason why I called you is, so yesterday I was working and doing some deliveries, and I'm going down this remote road I've never been down to. This is in southeastern Massachusetts, and actually further south from where me and Richie B do our investigations. And on the straightaway, I see like a pull-off, like a little parking area. So I slowed right down because I'm seeing structures everywhere right off the road.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so intriguing because everywhere down these roads, you always find structures. So I slowed right down and just took a gander down there. And I just see this big, dark shadow walking towards me, like it's a straight path. And it just walked towards me. And I'm like, driving by, I go, wait a minute. Is that someone like, who would like be out with a hoodie? So I'm kind of like, wait a minute. So I started backing up like fast because I know it's not a person because of the darkness. It was just head to toe dark. I watched the right arm swing up, but the thing that was intriguing was the long fingers and the thumb sticking out. And it's, in the hands are well past your pockets. And that it was just the length of the arms. And the reason why I was saying about a hoodie, well, first of all, who in their right mind is going to be like in this, there's like a remote woods where houses are like about a quarter of a mile on both directions, up and back. It's like smack in the middle with this path, service road or whatever you want to call it.
What part of Massachusetts is this in?
Massachusetts?
Massachusetts. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, southeastern Massachusetts, south of Boston, about 40 minutes south of Boston.
Okay, I had somebody in the chat. They said they were up there and they were wondering where it was at, so I figured I'd ask.
Yeah. So yeah, so now I'm like, well, first of all, I was dressed up in black in 82-degree heat. It's about 10:30 in the morning. And who would be wearing a sweatshirt with a possible hoodie? And the thing about the reason why I was saying the hoodie, because it's the head area was like a conical look.
Mm-hmm.
So when I backed up, it was gone. And I'm like thinking, wait a minute, what the hell's going on? So I had the windows down. I'm just like trying to look through the woods. I don't hear anything. And I was kind of like freaked out. So now I call Richie, tell him what's going on. I explain to him I'm trying to give as best, details I can possibly give, and so after talking to him, I'm driving down the road. I don't see nobody. I kept checking my mirrors, and you're talking about a good 3/4 of a mile past this pathway, and nobody came out. So I knew what I saw. And I'll get to the reason why.
Okay.
So I turned around. I came back. I had to go in there. I had to pin it on my phone. Okay. Now I'm turning into an investigator now. I got to do the research now. And so I go in the woods. I was a little nervous, but I was calm. And the minute you walk past this metal gate to get into this pathway. Excuse me, I'm going to back up. What blew my mind is looking at the pathway when whatever I saw walking, it seems like, you're in in the pathway where it's like 5 feet, it's like a tight way to get in there. When I walk down this path, it's like 7 by 8 feet wide. This path is wide, dude, wide. And whatever was walking took up that whole, almost the whole path. That's how big this thing was, this person. Right. I know what I think it is. Okay. So now I walk in, I would say the first 20 yards to my right was a gigantic X. Okay. Tree structures. And we have plenty of those in our investigations. So as I went further up, I found these trees where I kind of estimated whereabouts it was. So it was about through my phone, you use this measuring device, and I had about 220 feet. So it's about 73 yards. So I want to give and take 65 to 75 yards where I was walking down. But what was more intriguing is that how far, I took pictures. As I'm looking at everything, I'm taking pictures of where I was from the road to where it was, taking a picture, to the road, because I'm trying to document. In the meantime, how the size it seemed like they were closer, but really they're a lot further back. So it had girth. And the height of where these trees were, where I saw the head part, I'm estimating over 7 feet, like 7 to 8 feet actually. As I continued down the path, I found a set of tracks.
Okay.
I found a footprint. How fresh? It's tough to tell. I mean, it wasn't too windy. It's about 5 to 7 miles per hour. What I'm saying is you get debris blowing down. There's a lot of high pines. It's kind of like a little bit of an open area in the woods. It's not as thick as where we usually go in, because our area is more flat, swampy, so on. This is more hard woods. So now I'm trying to document so I called Sam, our executive producer. I said, listen, Sam, I explained what happened. And I go, listen, I need you to document, and I'm going to just talk to you in case anything happens. I said, listen, I'm going to measure this foot. I'm going to use my phone. So remind me to use my phone because, again, I'm flying high here of excitement. And so I put my phone down to the width of the print, and it was a perfect fit. I'm like, oh my God, this is incredible. And then I grabbed a skinny branch and did the length of it, put my thumb down and just snapped that, branch. So now I'm going to take this with me, when I get back to the shop. So I did my deliveries. I came back and I took pictures of all sorts of tree structures and what have you. I did some wood knocks, tree knocks, nothing, but to come back to the footprint was like 14. It was like a 14 by 7. Now where we research is 12 miles away. So I did that measurement through my maps. That measuring distance where your pinpoint is to your other pinpoints of where I research. And 12 miles is a drop. It's a hop, skip, and a jump for them.
Yeah.
And we get a lot of 14 by 7 in our area. Ton. That's the guy that's Richard will tell you, 14 by 7 is always the active guy or girl. Or we don't, but that's the prints that we get. And I can say, I know what I saw. It was walking, so bipedal. It's leaving tracks.
Well, why do you think it would have been so close to the houses? Because what you said, this was kind of right by a bunch of houses, right?
No, the houses are further down. The house is like about a little bit over a quarter of a mile away on both ends. So they're further away. And if it's someone walking through the woods, I mean, again, you're all decked out in black. Unless you're a basketball player, because it's like a big black shadow.
Right.
And the thing that was catching me is that when the arm swing, now I could see perfectly green in the background. But once that arm comes down, I can't see nothing. And where the head area was, because about 100, maybe about 130, it's a straight shot in the woods that this path is in. It's got dead woods in the center, because I took pictures. But my point on that is it bears off to the right.
Right.
And I couldn't see those dead woods. That's how much it took up, how much it just took up that area, the path and what have you. And, being a researcher, I go out once or twice a week with Richie, as you know. We're always active. And it was kind of thank God for Sam, because Sam's trying to slow me down and listen, okay, pinpoint, okay, check. All right, you use your phone, and we're just documenting, and I'm at work.
Right.
I'm not researching. I'm at work.
You're on the clock.
And not only that, we're just like basketball players. Because again, it's the arms the arms and the hands that really they're like big, and again, it's just because I slowed right down. I mean, I was like maybe going like 15 just to get a good look. Oh, what's down here? Because again, I'm being a researcher. I see these everywhere, all around our area and further south. So you're kind of intrigued of what's around.
This happened to you yesterday. Do you have any plans in the future to investigate this area, or are you just going to stick to where y'all are at 12 miles away?
Oh, hell no. We're going in.
Okay.
Actually, I did go in today.
Did you?
I did. I went in after work. Yeah. Oh, so all right. So this is where I screwed up. I had some dental casts, and I thought I had a half a bag, but I guess we used a little bit more than we thought, and I think I put too much water. Because again, I was doing a Facebook Live to try to document and just share with people what's going on and what have you. And when I poured it, and I'm like, oh, it's so soupy. I'm like, no way. I go, this is it. That's all I got. And Richie came on, and he's like, hey, dude, because Richie couldn't come with me today. He had the family and whatever. Because Richie's a busy dude and good dad. Always watching those kids and just working hard, him and Jess. But he's like, yeah, dude, you should just come by the house. This was like a good hour and a half that I was in the woods, and when I came back to see it dry, it's just not enough plaster.
Right.
He's like, yeah, dude, you got to come back to the house, but I couldn't because I have another obligation. I had to go, so time ran out. Right. And I don't know if I have time tomorrow. If there's no rain or nothing, I'd like to continue to cast this. But again, it's on the pathway, but it is like, I'm a big dude, and it's like it's solid dirt, but it's like the pine needles, the compost area of it, where it's like a perfect, like a perfect wall all the way around. And when I checked it yesterday, I just wasn't paying attention of, I thought it was like a little bit of mud or more. It was deep. I mean, it's about, a good 1/4 inch deep. When you're on solid dirt where, there's rocks and everything else, it's solid ground. To have that little imprint of at least about a 1/2 inch, I mean, that's got some serious weight to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, where my obligation is now, I'm like, oh, Stacy's on. I forgot Stacy. And then you guys are, talking Bigfoot. And then I'm like, yeah, the phone calls. And then Papa Squat's like, yeah, you should call Stacy right now. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay.
I'm glad you did, brother.
Yeah, I mean, it's a trip, man. Because this is the second time I've seen some sort of a sighting.
What was your first encounter like?
Well, look, it's one of those moments like you just keep it to yourself. You don't say anything. The only reason why I was doing it because you don't know what you saw. Okay, exactly. But you kind of do. So we were doing an investigation. We're online. And Richie was looking at, checking out the structure. And then I used to be a hunter. I, love being out in the woods. You kind of like always check your surroundings. Like I always look at the horizon to see, okay, the openings. Okay, I know the river's over there and so on and so forth. But for some reason, something was drawing me to this one area because the woods is kind of like open, not super thick. So as I'm looking to where the river is, something just jumped from a tree.
Mm-hmm.
And to say how far, maybe probably about 80 yards. It happens like, when I say quick, it's like a split second, but at the same time, it felt like, like eternity because it was black. And as it jumped, my quick instinct was to lean to my left, like, okay, is it a giant bird? like flying low and just, I didn't know. And I just stood there. I'm going back and forth. I'm like, the frig is it?
Right.
And Richie's like, Wojo. He's like trying to get my attention. He's like, Wojo. Then he puts the phone away to his side and he's like, dude, what do you see? I go, dude, I saw something. I don't know what I saw. But I know what I saw, but I don't know I can't explain it. And he's like, where? I go, down there. And then somebody chimed in, and there's an elder who's doing some meditating, and she was telling her daughter to tell us, oh, by the way, tell Richie and Wojo that a female jumped out of a tree. They'll be surprised to see leaves, fall down. And Richie showed me what she said. And we both looked at each other. I looked at Richie. I go, Richie, I didn't tell you it jumped out of a tree. They didn't. Because again, you see something and it looked like the predator jumping down. Like you can see like just this big dark object from that distance. I'm going to say it's probably about approximately like, I don't know, maybe like 10, 15 feet up.
Right.
But I just kept staring down there, and then boom, it just jumped off.
Have you seen?
It was just so strange.
Have you seen the Barbara Shoop video?
No, I haven't.
Brother, she catches something jumping down out of a tree that looks like.
Oh, Barbara. Oh,
yeah.
Barbara Hartman.
Nope, her last name is Shoop. Shupe.
Shoot. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. No, I haven't seen it. No.
I'll send it to you, dude.
She,
I was actually putting it in a cabin in the woods video I was making the other day, and she's not even paying attention to it. They just hear it, the camera's running, and her and this guy are talking, and then there's something falls out of a tree, and she's like, "What was that?" And then when you watch the video, you clearly see what appears to be predator. Like a cloaked figure jump out, come out of this tree and hit the ground. And that's some wild, wild stuff, brother.
Yeah, because, during one of our lives, Richie just happened to look, I'm like setting up, we have a gifting chair out in the woods that we told you guys. And Richie's like, hey, listen, because we hear like a pack of dogs, like domestic dogs. And that's one thing we've learned is that they mimic other animals. And you get, and one goes, different sounds. Like, and there's just two dogs. There's a big older dog and a smaller little dog from I don't know, maybe it's about a quarter of a mile away from where we are because we're starting to head out of the woods. And it was just absolutely nuts. And it sounded like 5 to 6 of them. And so Richie's like, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to go towards those dogs because they sound like they're like literally 50 yards away. Go set up the chair and back. I go, all right. So I'm with my brother. And as we're setting up and whatever, we can hear walking to our right. I'm watching Richie on the live through my phone just to make sure, he's okay. And as we come up upon the main path that we go onto, Richie should be like kind of like 11 o'clock from me, and all of a sudden he's running through the woods. Dude, to your right. I go, what do you mean to your right? I'm looking at my brother, and we're looking at him like, dude, you didn't see that? I go, no. What happened is that something caught his eye that crouched down, and he looked kind of like shorter. And it kind of, once Richie looked and saw, just because it was moving side to side, it got up, turned around, and it just died in the woods in seconds. And all he saw was just, the head down and pumping the arms, and it was just already gone in the woods, like speed, you just can't explain.
Yeah.
And I know people want concrete evidence, like pictures, the video, but I'll tell you, that's why they're so elusive, man. They're there. they are watching you. You just have to catch them. And that's what he did. He caught possibly a juvenile, got too close. But going back to the movement to my right, my brother was saying the same thing. And he was kind of like getting new into investigating with us. And in Richie's live, you can see at one point as he's talking, you can see the pathway going down, and it's all like ferns. It looks like Jurassic Park in our area. You'd love our area. The only thing is they don't like people wearing Miami Dolphin hats. But anyway,
I bet they don't, because they're all homos.
Squish the fish. So down the path. Now I have it mirrored on my 70-inch TV, and I could see like a large body, and I could see a head peeking around this tree. And my friend Dan comes over. I go, "What do you see right there?" He goes, "Dude, it looks like someone's peeking out of that tree, and it looks huge." I go, "Holy shit! I wonder if that is, the one that kept, walking, to our right, in that, close whereabouts where Richie was." Because Richie kept saying to the right. Well, right. Our right for him, our right is like 1 o'clock. Where this angle was probably about like 3:30 to my right. So that's where the path, it just comes down and bends off. But yeah, so I mean, man, these woods are active. I'd love to have you and the boys come up.
Brother, I love, I'm going to be honest with you. I love the woods in Massachusetts. People, some of them, a lot of them are rude. There's I don't know if you've been to the South, but there's a such thing called the Southern hospitality. And it is a real thing because once you get out of the South, it doesn't exist. But the other thing that I was kind of bothered by Massachusetts was the amount of litter.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? It's like people just throw the shit out wherever they want. And Florida, I before I traveled abroad or the country and all these places, I thought Florida was bad. But going to other places, especially the Northeast, dude, Florida can't touch it. Like now we have convicts out here picking up stuff all the time. But our woods and stuff are pretty clean in comparison to what I seen up in, what is it? It's part of the Bridgewater Triangle. It's one of the state forests. It starts with an F. What's it called? It's the big
Freetown State Forest.
Freetown. Dude, there was so much shit there. Washers, dryers, refrigerators, tires, everything. And I was just like, wow, guys, I never had seen that much litter. However, I do love Freetown State Forest and the Bridgewater Triangle. And, the woods are very different in Massachusetts. It's always been fun. And I know you're talking about, why would a guy be wearing a hoodie in 83 degrees? Brother, I'd probably be wearing a damn hoodie in 83 degrees. I wish we had some 83 degrees around here.
I mean, come on. I mean, there's like people that dress up goth and whatever. I mean, I wouldn't doubt people just dress up head to toe black. But you would think that, like, you would wear like boots, right? That, that would have like a shine to it because the sun was beaming down in that direction. So like if you had like a water bottle or something, I mean, you're going to bring something, to hydrate, because it is a long walk. I mean, I'll send you some pictures. I mean, it's just like, it's a dead shot. It is like going, I've been down a path to Florida, like Inverness and places like that. And it's like a straight shot for like, a good 2 miles and everything's like straight. And then you have like a little bend and then it's straight again. But yeah, as for your points about Massachusetts, of course. Yeah. I mean, when you live in where I live is more suburban, but I mean, again, it's just city life. I mean, people they're just pigs.
Yeah,
You know,
and the
and yeah,
city life seems to be creeping out. I made a video because I was right outside of an Amazon place. And I mean, like the Amazon warehouse was right across the street from where we had stopped along the side of the road. I can't remember what we stopped for, but dude, there was so much trash. And I was making this video and put it online to Jeff Bezos. I was like, bro, pick your shit up. You could see trash all the way down the damn road. It was visible, bro. But outside of that, it's been Massachusetts, one of my favorite places because you have all the cryptids. You know, with the Bridgewater Triangle, you have the big serpents, you have the dogman, you have the Bigfoots, you have the pterodactyls, and then you also
my
have...
brother's seen a Thunderbird.
Did he? I wouldn't doubt it, man. There's a lot of people that have, but you also have all the paranormal shit, all the ghosts. Every other house down the street is haunted, and you know, every middle-aged white woman is a descendant of a witch.
I mean,
there's a couple things that are facts about that area, you know.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll tell you. If you ever listen, guys, you guys ever come to Massachusetts? You ever seen our women? Oh, a lot of witches around here.
Yes. Hey, no, for real, dude. Like every single one of them is somehow or another related to the witch trials. And I'm thinking to myself, there ain't no damn way. There ain't no damn way all of y'all.
Oh man, I mean, yeah, it's like when you go through these woods, it's like what's it, the Blair Witch you know, like someone like seeing the structure. I'm like, when I first started, you know, researching and Richie showing me his area and stuff like that, I was thinking Blair Witch. You know, I'm like,
well, you know,
who the hell's making this?
You speak about that, and because there's a lot of witchcraft practiced in the Northeast. It's old land. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's the start of the country was basically there for the most part. I mean, the oldest cities here in Florida, but that was Spanish controlled. The start of the European civilization in North America was really kind of the Northeast. Do you think that some of those structures that y'all find out in the woods could be from some type of witchcraft or, you know, satanic kind of thing going on? Occult practices, I should say.
Well, I could say, you know, anything is possible.
Richie showed me one, and when I was on his show, or maybe no, it was when I had him on my show, and I was like, brother, I'm pretty sure this is some witchcraft shit, you know?
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about like witchcraft stuff, I'm like, there's a place called in Dighton. I don't know if you've been to that Antoine Rock.
Yeah, sure have.
Yeah, I you know, because where I work, I mean, I work in New Bedford. I work for the state, and I'm going all over these places that I've never been to. I've been to Freetown State Forest, and I was actually there last week speaking to a ranger, and you know, you got to ask the questions, guys. I mean, this is Freetown Forest. There's been a lot of strange activity. I have found major, like, you know, 40-foot X's. I mean, beautiful 40 foot. I mean, it's just incredible. And like I said, other structures and rock stackings and in areas where it's not heavily walked. Like you get, you know, like we're walking through a swamp. We're in our boots and we can see people walking, you know, I don't know, like around us. And they're probably going, what are these like guys doing playing in the mud, you know? But that's what we do. You know, we get into the swamps and whatever and just try to see what's going on here. But this gentleman told me that as for the cryptid part, he doesn't really know, but he knows that because the Freetown Forest is very big. I can't give you great detail, but for the part that I'm at, he says there's a lot of UFO activity.
Brother, when I was in the Freetown Forest, my buddies parked on the side of the road, and I said, "Are y'all want to wait here, hang out for a few hours?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I left. I just walked off in the woods. I said, "I'll be back." And I got the weirdest feelings. And I don't normally get that kind of shit, but when I was in Freetown, there was something else up with that place besides just what I was looking for. And I think we saw a puckwudgie. I think we saw a little person which was wild as shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, there was a whole different vibe to that whole thing.
If you get to like really like find creepy stuff, and it's the Skim Milk Bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Richie's done an investigation out there, and oh my God, I forgot. There's a story about a woman. She's from the city of Brockton, and Brockton's like about 20 minutes away where she lived, and she went missing. And well, she died in a boating accident. They found her drowning. I mean, they found her drowned. That she drowned. And well, Richie and his friend Phil Anderson, great dude. You know, he had his rampart and all that stuff. Now, I'm not into the paranormal, but I kind of understand what's going on. And Richie would, you know, be talking but man, like through the live, you can hear chains. I go, dude, you got chains. What the hell's that all about? You know, and everybody on the side heard that you can hear the chains. You know, it was just the most incredible thing. But I did go out with him on an investigation out there. It was a short one, and we were trying to end the show, and you know, the boom and whatever. Well, I had his knocking bat, and while he was talking, I pretend I was going to hit him in the head. Well, the computer, I don't know what the device it's called. The spirit says chicken, and the guy Phil looked at me, his mouth dropped. I looked at him. I dropped the bat. Richie's like, "Yeah, I'm not chicken."
Yeah,
Richie
right.
didn't understand what I was doing behind him.
Yeah.
So until he saw the live, he's like, "You can hit me with a bat?" I was only kidding.
Yeah.
But the spirit was saying, "You're chicken." I'm like, dude, I was like, you know, I'm a Christian. I was like freaked out. I'm like, I don't want to get into these evil spirits, but you do hear strange stuff in there, and plus there's been a lot of reports of puckwudgies on that bridge and in that surrounding area, especially Bigfoot, because obviously, you know, as much as I know about the King Philip's War, I mean, especially in that whole area, I mean, of all the spirits and of the Bridgewater Triangle.
Brother, we got out there.
But yeah.
So after I got back, once I walked back up, we went down to this power line crossing where like these transmission lines run down, cut through the forest.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a gate that said, don't go further. So I went further. I was like, that's not for me. And I walked around it and went down, and I found this goat that had been sacrificed. And then I called Corey. I was with Corey Hines and Bill Brock, and I called them. Corey owned the Conjuring House for a while, and they came down there. And when we were all standing there trying to look at the goat and examine the goat, brother, we all started hearing voices. It was weird as shit. And that is my Freetown State Forest story. And we filmed it. We're like, nobody's gonna fucking believe this. It was so odd. Sure, you crossed the gate that said not to cross, and then you walked up on a goat sacrifice. Right? Like, we were filming it, and I even say, I was like, nobody's going to believe this. They're gonna think somebody's going to accuse us of buying a goat and killing it, which I would never do. But when we started poking around on that goat, it was crazy, because the voices. You've been in the movie theaters lately. They'll do the whispering, and it's coming through all the speakers and sounds like it's moving around in the room, and it's basically telling you to shut up and turn your phones off. It was like that. Mm-hmm. It was like the voices were in surround sound, and they were coming from different areas. Because I told him, I was like, hey, bro, we about to fight. Like, just one of us leave. Like, Bill, you go get the car, or call or something. Somebody stay off and stay safe in case stuff goes south. Because, like, if y'all doing some shit like that in the woods, and then, like, somehow or another you're projecting whispers all around me, homie, I'm fucking squaring up on you, dude. That ain't going down, because it freaked us out. I panicked. I immediately went to We ain't supposed to be here. Somebody's going to try to harm us.
Well, like being in the woods doing night investigations. So we bring our boy Denny, Denny O, and you know, him and Denny O and Richie and our friend Andy, they were kind of like grouped together. I kind of like, I was going in a little bit of a different direction. You know, I was probably about maybe like 30 feet away from him. And I'm just standing there, I'm scanning with my thermal. And then all of a sudden I hear, like clear as day through my audio, like something like sounded like it blew in my ear. Dude, I thought, you want to talk about squaring off?
Yeah.
I'm like, who is that? And you have to put the phone down. I put the light on. There was nobody there.
Yeah.
This happened to me 3 times on 3 different investigations. And one of them, our friend Susan Ahern, a happy medium. And, you know, she was with me. Richie just came into the woods. We heard all these like whoops from a distance. You know, maybe it's that energy. You know, but Richie does have a lot of energy. That's what Richie does. He's got the ADD. He's like, "Ah, what's up?"
Bro's
You
like
know,
the damn.
I'm like, all right.
He's like the Energizer Bunny on meth, bro. Like, if,
oh my god! I'm like, all right, crack boys in the house. Yeah.
If Richie had sense, he would bottle his sweat and sell it for an energy drink.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll probably be the first jackass to try to buy it off him. Too.
Hell yeah.
And then, you know, he'll probably he'll probably overcharge me.
Oh, of course he will.
You know, it's
That's
probably
Richie.
like for $10. Yeah, for you, it'll be like 15. You know?
Yeah, I normally sell it for 10, Wojo, but it's going to be $19.95 a day.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, just put it on my credit.
Yeah,
but,
right.
Yeah, so he comes in, and then all of a sudden, like we're, you know, it's during the day. It's kind of like, you know, open area because we just walk in the woods. If you ever watch our lives, you know, it's kind of like open. And all of a sudden, I freaked the fuck out. I was like, Susan looked at me. She goes, "What was that?" I go, "What did you hear?" It sounded like something like blowing. I go, "Dude, it just happened to my ear. You didn't?" And, you know, there are Native American friends of ours that, you know, that watch our show and stuff like that. They're like, yeah, that's a dog man. I'm like, dog man? Yeah, I think dog man likes you. I'm like, I wouldn't know that. You know, I'm like, I don't have dog treats on me. I go, why me? You know, I'm freaking up. It happened 3 times.
You know, I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day, and he brought up a very good point. If you run into a dog man, you shouldn't have a gun to defend yourself. You shouldn't have a taser, none of that stuff. You should just pull out a tennis ball and throw it and see if he goes and chases it. Because if he's a dog...
What happens if I do that and Richie starts running?
Oh, shit. Yeah, Richie would chase it.
Where you going? You can't leave trash in the woods.
Yeah, right?
The ADD's kicking in, you know, like he's like always cleaning or something. And he'd be like, you can't throw the balls around here.
Right.
That's interesting. Yeah, like, dude, like I love to have you guys up here, and the stuff you would see is just, it'll blow your mind. I mean, like Freetown Forest, I've been in there, and like different energies where we are. There's one thing about southeastern Massachusetts. We have a lot of lakes, a lot of creeks. The ecosystem's perfect for them because there's plenty of food. There's, you know, it's just the habitat itself, because everything's kind of, houses are like, you know, a little bit spread out. You know, you're not like near a city or anything like that. But there's a lot of the power lines everywhere in southeastern Massachusetts. Like if you know the town of Plymouth or Manomet, heading towards the Cape Cod, even down at Cape Cod, I see the structures. And obviously, I'm sure you heard stories in Mashpee. Class A sightings have been reported. Oh my God, I forgot the name of the camps. So again, I mean, it's happening all, you know, south of us, west of us. We talked to our friend, the Bogle brothers. You know, you hear reports of skinwalkers to UFOs to Bigfoots, and they had their own encounters. And me and Richie, when we met them for the very first time, they brought us out into October Mountain, and I found a set of tracks, and we casted that. It was cool, you know. It was just, you know. And then they came to our place, and we casted 2 prints in our place. So it's very, you know, high energy. I mean, high energy in our woods. You'll feel it. You'll blow your mind because we bring. Like I said, our friend Susan, who's like a happy medium, she's like, the energy you guys have is second to none, unbelievable. It's, it's you know, it's calm, positive, but it's just like, it's a lot like Richie, you know, what he brings to the table.
Yeah.
You know, and you have that high energy and it's great. But yeah, so whenever
well,
you
brother,
guys are
it's
always
definitely
welcome.
happening, man. It's definitely happening. It may not be happening this year, but probably spring of next year. I'm going to hopefully be coming up to Massachusetts and to meet up with Richie and, you know, get out and do some boots on the ground stuff. Do some solo camping, brother.
Oh yeah, oh, dude, it'll be kick ass. I mean, you know, watching you guys like come out of the vehicle, like, you know, like ZZ Top, you know.
Yeah,
every girl's crazy about a sharp dress, man. and then Papa Squatch trips you over or something. You know how he is. He's sneaky. I could tell he's that sneaky kind of a guy. You know,
he is sneaky. He texted me the other day when he was at the conference. He's like, "Where are you at?" And I'm like, "I'm at my booth." And he's like, "I was just there." I'm like, "I didn't see you." And then next thing I know, I turn around and there he is. I'm like, "How the hell did you sneak up on me?" You know.
No, you got a great group, good dudes. Looking forward to seeing you guys again and on your next live and all that good stuff. And
well, I'm gonna get with y'all. I'm gonna get with y'all because I want y'all to be in the woods this time, and I'm gonna be sitting in studio. So,
pants on or off?
Yeah, it's up to me or y'all.
Oh, we'll start with you. How's that?
Not a chance. Not a chance, brother. It's too fucking hot.
Yeah, man, it was hot up there, man. I'll tell you, I can tell down the south. I bet I have friends in Georgia, so I understand Southern hospitality. Good people down. My friends down in Northern Georgia, in Banks County. So
that's another thing. You go
up to the south.
You go up to the north, and everybody hears your accent, and they automatically like, "Oh, he's a racist. He's from the south." It's like, is everybody in the north like this stupid? But apparently,
misogynist. Like, why is everyone using the same words? But you know, not to get into that. But you know, how about this? Go out in the woods, relax. You know, not saying you have to go Bigfoot hunt. It's not Bigfoot hunting. It's just, you know, going out in the woods and enjoy yourself. I don't know, go to a lake. Go, you know, just be happy because life's too short.
It is.
You know, it can't be miserable. And that's honestly, I have a lot of people, a lot of good friends around here and everything, but really, Massachusetts, a lot of misery, man. And
it's everywhere, brother. It's everywhere. You know, it's just the way it is today. And I'm thankful for the people that I've met that, you know, because everybody's got bullshit going on in their lives, but we all leave it at the door. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because we're trying to escape from it. We're trying to enjoy ourselves on the short, limited time that we have here. You know?
Well, Stacey, all I can say is this, is that you want to be good or do you want to be bad? You can't be in the middle. And that's the problem with people. They try to find the middle of everything so that they're, I'll try to get out of this. No, take responsibility or just be happy the best you can. We're human. We're not perfect people, but just there's more to life than just pointing fingers at others. And you shouldn't be crapping on people about their stories of, you know, about the Bigfoot or paranormal or whatever else people have going on, you know. Have this discussion, you know, like during our lives. I mean, plus your live that we help do, it's the people in the chat room, right? They are interactive, respectful, and they're part of the research and good critical thinking. That's what's important. I mean, like, listen, I'm not a knower or anything, you know what? But I'm out here. I'm just we as a researcher, you try to give as much data, show you audio, the videos, everything, because we don't. That's all we do is share. We're not gatekeepers, and that's why everybody is part of the research. I mean, probably like the largest like researching group combined with us and you guys and others. I mean, that's what we want.
Yeah,
you
man. And
can't have this like negativity.
The egos get checked. You know, nobody. That's what I like about y'all and other people I hang out with. It's just we don't all have the same beliefs on this subject. We don't all think the same things, but we're okay with listening to everybody, you know, and sharing ideas and stuff like that. And that's the only way the ball's ever going to get moved forward.
Right. Exactly. And and as for like, I heard towards the end of, you know, Joe was saying something to the effect of, you know, you're not going to get rich doing this. And not only that, it shouldn't be about being rich and being famous and all that. Bring that crap. You know, my thing is that, you know, have passion.
Yep.
You know, and not only that, have respect of what you're researching for. You know, these forest people, you know what? Why are they here? They've been here long before us. Why? We don't know. But you know what? Have that conversation with them.
Yep.
Do your research. That's why we continue to hammer our area. And like 2.5 years, because it's easy for us because it's like 20 minutes. But that's what we do. And that's why we, you know, show that respect and love and take it from there. And just give all that information to folks like yourself and people in the chat room. That's what's important. And just,
Sharon,
you know,
is Karen, brother.
we're like this, just have fun, because you know what? That's how me and Richie are. Because you know what? We're just about having fun. We're like this on and off the air. We're not, you know, we're not superstars. None of us are. We're just researchers, man. And you know what? We are damn good guys.
Oh yeah.
We love you all. You know,
Yeah,
you guys
brother.
are good guys too, and you know, good chat room. And you know what? I'm going to let you go. It's time for me to get to bed. And it was great chatting with you.
Hey, I
Great to see
appreciate you
the
calling,
audience
brother.
engaged.
And you know,
Thank you for listening. I appreciate this.
yeah, man. And y'all go check out Wojo and Banner with Richie B and give them a like, a subscribe. And I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
All right, guys. Just remember, we are home of the boom. Let's go. Ooh. All right, I'll shut up. Later.
Bye. All right, everybody. Wow. He seen a Bigfoot yesterday. It's not often that we get that call, you know. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight and staying with us. We've been on the air 2 hours and 52 minutes. And I don't have no editing to do tonight, so I think I'm going to take my ass to bed here in the next hour. I say that, but I'll still be awake come 3 a.m., I'm sure. That's just how it goes in Stacy Brown land. But yeah, everybody, this Friday, I got a video coming out, my Fireside Chats interview, Les Stroud and Robert Cabin in the Woods. I was telling them my story. So I'm going to put that out. So for you new subscribers, you get a, you know, you can get a sense of who I am and the things that have happened to me. I know some of you guys that have been here since the beginning. Y'all have already heard the stories, but I'm sure you'd like to hear it again. And then next week, we're on not this Saturday, but next Saturday, we're dropping my short film, Tate. I hate to keep plugging that, but I'm super proud of it. I want y'all to check it out because we're making it into a feature film, and I am chasing my dream of becoming a horror movie director full time, if that's even a thing. But anyways, everybody, till next time, I hope you all have a good evening and a good week, and I'll see you in the chats Friday night at 8 p.m. Until then, stay safe and stay squatchy.